views, and comments expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production of Glory 93.9 FM.
Hey, smile a while, give your face a rest, alright? Your troubles won't last always. Don't worry about it. God's gonna work it out, alright? Don't worry, just say, good morning. Good morning. Even the troubles are done. Yeah. Good morning. Just smile and say good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Come on. The troubles are done. Smile. Just smile and say good morning. Alright. Hold on. Don't cry. No way. No way. The troubles won't last always. Be still and know He is God, yeah. Mention His name, all knees will bow. Why those tears? Cause the joy, yeah. Joy of the Lord is your strength. He won't give you more than you can bear. No way. Good morning. Hey. The troubles are done. The joy coming in the morning. Just morning. Good morning. It's good morning. All right. The troubles are done. The joy coming in the morning. Just smile and say good morning. Good morning. Don't worry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Everything will be alright. Move your frown and smile a while. The troubles won't last all night. Happiness is yours, just claim it. On Calvary, Jesus paid it. Don't be ashamed to stand up and say it. Jesus, speak a smile and you can't contain it. Everything would be alright. The troubles won't last all night. Smile and make your face look like Jesus. Make all the heavy load light. Everything would be alright. The troubles won't last all night. Smile and make your face look like Jesus. Make all the heavy load light.
Good morning, everybody.
Just smile and say good morning. Good morning. Let's
Try. Friends, Romans, countrymen.
Lend me your ears.
Lend me your ears, everybody. Good morning to all those listening on Glory 93.9 FM. Good morning to you. I am Delton. This is Glory 93.9. This is that Good Morning Tea show that comes your way every sometime Saturday morning. I almost said it. I almost did. I pulled it back. I got myself together. Show that comes your way every now and again on a Saturday morning at 11, sometime before 12. Could be after 12 as well. Thank God we know the owners of the station, and they are a little lenient with us as regards to our time.
Oh my God. Shout out to the owners.
Shout out to
the
owners, management, and staff of Glory 93.9 FM who understands our plight and feels the infirmities of the people. Good morning to all of us on Facebook. Hey, Faces, welcome. Welcome, Faces. Oh, Faces, y'all can't see us.
Share it.
Y'all
You
it.
can't see it. Share it.
Y'all can see us.
Share it.
All right. Hey, Faces. Good morning. So good morning, everybody.
Look who's early today.
Look, prayer warrior Shauna is here.
Two. My God. Morning, Shauna. I thought after yesterday you would have been flat out.
I thought she'd have been a little tired.
Delton, I don't understand why I'm so tired.
No, last night was definitely a signed, sealed, and delivered situation.
What?
That Delton, you're no longer young.
No, but I am.
Yeah, you'd be younger than me, eh? Just a little bit, slightly.
I am.
But for me, last night
I wasn't yesterday.
Last night was a time where I realized, Delton, this ain't for you no more. Because first of all, everything was loud. That's like, why are everything so loud?
Delton, yeah.
I felt like
you were a little further down and further ahead.
It's like, why everything so loud? Like, what's happening? What's up with all this noise? Why are people still dancing? It's time to go.
Wow.
Like, don't y'all see it's past 9 o'clock? Why are we still out?
What you mean 9 o'clock? We was just turning up.
Why are we still into the out? It's time to go.
9 o'clock. They were just asking, "Are you ready?"
But anyway, so y'all continue to share the show, like and share, get the news out that our Good Morning Tea is up. I mean, here before morning is over, and so good morning, Donnie. Donnie's here. Donnie is here. I'm Dawn, and I know Dwayne there. Dwayne beat something else.
He's there.
You Dwayne there?
Yeah.
Morning, Dwayne.
Morning.
So Shauna and Audicia and all of those watching from all over the world, those on YouTube, those on TuneIn Radio, and I think we want to go on podcast soon.
Delton, we going on podcast.
Right.
Mama made it.
I think we do a podcast.
Mama made
The
it.
person, someone else asked me the other day, and I was like, "No, we're not on podcast." So I think the people are hungry for the podcast.
Maybe Delton, you gotta get with the times. This
Yeah.
is what the youngins are about.
That's
You and your,
that's
I
further
can't
proof.
take no loud music
Exactly.
after 8
It's further
o'clock.
proof that I am
You
no longer
Come on, guy. Come
considered young.
on. I haven't yet said an official good morning to everyone, so I'll do that right now.
All right, I'll start the show. Let me start the show.
Oh, okay.
Welcome, everybody. Good morning, one. Good morning, all.
Good morning, big.
Good morning, small. Good morning, short. Good morning, tall. Good morning,
to
all y'all. Welcome to that Good Morning Tea. I am Delton, and I'm joined by my host,
Vera.
God, that was very loud. Jeez, that coming hot.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Ooh.
That was
Morning,
like, what?
Franklin, you're with us. Listen, this is like old times. Sean is here
Yeah,
at the
Sean here
beginning.
early, Frank here
Franklin's
early.
here at the beginning. It feels like old times. So I told you I've been doing that greeting with my grade sixes. A teacher finally came. She's like, "What are you guys doing?" The class have been asking, "What's all that banging going on next door?"
Oh, be
They
banging
sound
too?
like they're having fun because you got to do the beat on the table.
Oh, yeah, okay, so you have a whole song.
And I was like, I'm sorry. Apparently, the children said, "Sounds like fun in there." She said, "Yeah, because Miss Wilson is fun."
The fun side? You're the fun side?
I wasn't trying to be controversial. Renice, my girl.
Morning,
Good morning.
Renice.
Me and Renice had a very interesting conversation. Renice, I pulling that up. I pulling out the receipts from our conversation.
Bullet, she took.
Because I feel like we've talked, good DGMT is a circle. We just go round and round and round. Because apparently we come into DGMT, we have a good time, we learn lots of things, and then we go away and we do exactly the same stuff.
Have we seen that?
Ain't nothing changed.
Have we just talked about?
Ain't nothing changed. So apparently we are talking about the same stuff. Renice and I had a very interesting conversation about customer service. And especially these people that are offering beauty services like hair and nails. Y'all are the worst. And y'all know I have a story. These numbers are fluctuating. Y'all going off to share and like it.
Yeah.
That's what
I
it
hope
is.
so. Because
They
like jump in,
leave in the window to
then
go
head-
and share it
and head all the way down.
and come back.
Then come back up again.
Because they don't want to be a facey. They want to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We got you. We got
We
you.
understand. Yeah. So no, customer service that's always a topic. That'll
That's
never,
always a topic.
that'll never not be a topic. Customer service.
Why is it like this? Renice, you got in touch with my girl?
No. Anyway, we encourage everybody to go ahead and get yourself a hot beverage.
Please.
As
Mine
we,
had to be strongly caffeinated and sugar-rated today because
we
there's
came
a
in here.
tiredness in my spirit that
We were out last night. We were out
is
past
reminiscent
past
of
9:30. We were out past 9:30 last night, and it shows.
and the whole time, like after 9 o'clock, I kept looking at the clock. Just jumping around, dancing, looking at the clock. We ain't what we used to be. But
No.
this morning I woke up like a truck ran over my face, and I want you to know I barely did anything yesterday. Like I don't understand. Like the tiredness is in my womb.
You went to the door. You went to the door. He did a little up and down.
I did a little up and down, but it was guys. I was in Ursha yesterday, and I dove into my church. What's it? The church. My church resume.
this way.
The archives. I'd be like,
two. Yeah.
we came together to follow me. I think I did a really, really good job.
Oh, she did. Releasing that yet. She intended today.
Okay, you do that. But yeah, I just feel like. So for those of you that don't know, yesterday, the teens at Life, they had a worship and intercession event called Seek. It was awesome. We had a room packed full of teens passionate about worshiping God. Honestly, my mind is still blown by just...
It was so many of them.
It was so many of them.
Where
And
y'all
like
come from?
ready to go in, baby. Like no one forced them to be there. I'm talking
No.
grown.
Yeah. Some
I'm
of them
talking grown. Like some young men
definitely
came to the door and I was like, did you come with anyone? No, but I came by myself. All right.
Sir, how old are you?
It's
First
just
of all?
like it was awesome, like awe-inspiring, and it was just beautiful to see. By the end, the children did a little turn up, rake and scrape.
Yeah, some raking and scraping happened.
They did some raking and scraping in there, and I was going with them because I was enjoying the music. Why do I feel? And honestly, DGMT is, if I tell you I could be back in the next 20 minutes, I guess that's a lie. It's gonna take me about an hour to get to myself because I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I woke up this morning like I had been run over by a truck or hit by a bus. Now, mind you, I know what those things actually feel like, but those are the reference
Use
points
your
I
imagination.
use.
That's what you-
Using my
That's
imagination,
what you feel like it would be.
I perceive.
Yeah, no, it was a lot. But
It's
shout
the
outs to Marisha and the
Yes.
whole Teen Life crew down there. Did an awesome job last night.
They probably
They-
there she is.
Speak of the
There
of
she
the
is.
person.
I was gonna say she deep in the sleep. Body
Yeah.
Marisha, body break. Right
Yeah.
up, and I don't understand it. I don't like this turning point. Standing up in the back, listening to the word. My foot start to cramp. Like, what is happening? No. I am still a spring chicken. My body is
Spring
not.
chicken? Yikes.
Uh,
Okay, you go with that. You stick with that.
I'm in denial. I am in denial.
I told you at one point last night I went to move a chair. Just show you the
I told
age.
Delton he needs to reject this in the name of Jesus.
I went to move a chair, and for some reason, this wrist, the same little right wrist right here, lost mobility and is in a lot of pain. Even as we speak right now, right here, I could not turn the knob on the doors. There's certain actions I can't do. I couldn't turn the knob. My son had to open the door for me this morning because I couldn't turn to open the knob to get out my house.
And I know Dallas had some questions.
No, because I had like a little rap on it last night to try. He's like, "Daddy, what happened?" I was like, "I hurt my wrist." He's like, when I hurt my wrist, I put a Band-Aid on it. It's like, I don't think a Band-Aid's going to work,
Oh,
but thank you, though.
And like,
So now I can fully rotate my wrists. I have pain that's constant. So pray for me. Those are the way to a prayer.
the way you
Yeah,
listen,
pray my strength.
I've
in
been
this right
telling
wrist.
you guys that I don't, God lives in eternity.
Yeah.
He is not bound by the times and the
No
seasons
time.
that we are bound to.
Mm-mm.
So when you people start worrying about getting married a little late, being a geriatric mother, because we established last week, like a couple of weeks ago, geriatric is after 35. I always say I wasn't worried about that because my God, He's an eternal God, lives outside the times and seasons. However, I'm starting to consider, but running after a child with my body just like so. This isn't getting any better. Like, honestly, no. I need to get on my exercise. That's the end. That's it. I just need to walk. I need to
Get the little bones.
grease. Yeah, get
The
them.
WD-40.
Because at the end,
The
at the end
WD-40
of the day, I don't do anything but sit down.
Yeah, the teacher. Yeah.
I don't do anything but sit down. I used to be that teacher that walks up and down. Now,
You can't, eh? You
Miss
can't
Wilson,
do it in
you
class.
can come here. No,
like,
I did it in an exam the other day and I had to check myself. He's like, Miss Wilson. Oh, wait.
It's like, you tell them, no, you come here and then
I because I had a moment. I was
no
like,
man, you come to me.
guys, it's a lot. It's a lot. Pray for those of you who know the virtual prayer, but
Know the
unfortunately,
virtual
everybody
prayer.
on here have the same prayer request.
Yeah, that seems.
Everybody on here have the same prayer. So we need the likes of Shauna to stand in the gap because Shauna's a big gap. We need you to stand in it. You can't teach sitting down. Says who?
Gordon Franklin.
Now that's not advisable, but it's a pandemic. You're not supposed to be walking up and down the children anyhow.
Oh yeah, for you all there.
And I only want to hear from teachers who working in school, not people who working from their laptop home. Tell me I can't sit down. Nah,
FYI, if you had a loud crunching noise,
that's Delton.
it's brought to you by Ginger Snaps.
And those ginger snaps are right.
It's a little,
I want you to know. Franklin, I never used to be the sit down teacher. I used to be the up and down teacher. But one, it's a pandemic. Two, it's just body,
yeah,
Shauna did pray. My goodness.
Oh, listen to me.
Shauna did.
All in there. Anyway, let's get the show started.
So that was really a disclaimer. If you feel
Yeah,
like
that's a
there's
disclaimer.
maybe some low energy groaning,
Low energy
that cannot be uttered.
Everything again.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Please bear with us.
We all right. Shout outs to Shawnee. Shawnee's here. Shawnee Roll. Everybody else who's on and locked into that. Good morning, T. Welcome. What is the show about? We find out as we go along.
Whatever.
We find out as we go along.
What's going on?
What the topic is
show
for the day.
about.
But let's get our housekeeping matters out of the way. Birthday greetings.
Indeed.
To all those birthdays that we missed on last. I mean, who celebrated on last week? No, this week from Monday to now.
I don't even know what day it is anymore.
It's the 20th something. I know for sure. I know we're in the 20s of May. I'm 100% sure.
I thought May was over.
It's not yet. Quite.
I felt like May should be. I feel like May should be.
Yesterday, anybody who
Deborah Delaveau is watching.
Debbie?
Debbie is
Miss
watching.
Debbie.
Good to see you here
Mary
with us.
Lightborn Walkers here as well.
Oh,
good morning to
the
our
medical
crew.
officials have
Oh, we can
joined.
talk about them in a minute.
Join the show.
We're going to get to that.
I need to apologize from now because I
get that
know
to
by
the
the time
hot
we're done with the show, Miss Mary's going to come for me. But Miss Mary, I heard some things and I don't know how to feel about it.
That's a good bit to bring it.
I don't know how to feel about it.
To get some advice.
Mm-hmm.
My birthday greetings goes to Patricia Seymour, celebrated yesterday. Robert Gibson, who celebrated on yesterday. Robert is Yolandi's brother.
Okay.
Because he's been in church a couple times. Usually wears nice colored clothing. Nice bright colored clothing. Okay. Yeah. Who else celebrated? Anybody celebrated on between Monday and Saturday. I mean Monday and yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Those celebrating today, I have Dwayne Delancey celebrating today. Dwayne Delancey is a member of Highway Church of God, Bahamas. He's celebrating on today. Crystal Miller, my good cousin, is celebrating on today. You picked up her son last night. You don't know who that is, but you picked up her son last night.
Listen, Crystal Miller. Listen, Crystal Miller. You have a very polite son. Oh my, he was so polite. So, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I played a little worship music in the car. He was really.
He brought his on his head.
Bless his heart. Oh, Crystal Miller.
Yeah, so she's celebrating on today.
There.
Yeah, she's celebrating.
Happy birthday to you, ma'am.
Celebrating on today. You any birthdays? Anybody doing shout out? No way.
I have the birthday of a Sabrina Knowles.
Okay. Sabrina.
Roll. Right. I believe I don't know her. Other than maybe DGMT. Is she not a DGMT name? It's not someone I added as a result of DGMT. Well, whoever you are, if you are listening, Sabrina, because you're my friend on Facebook, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. You got a birthday. We got none.
We sing to you. Hey. Right. So yes, those are our birthdays in the house. What? Doesn't your phone is ringing during DGMT? Who doesn't know?
Me things.
I was going to say, who doesn't know you on DGMT? So those are our housekeeping items. What's been going on in the news? Y'all tell us, to be honest.
So they said something about a UFO.
A UFO? Whoa. Really?
Hold on now. Jane said me something about UFOs. DGMT, but take a turn, folks. It's about to take a turn. It's about to take a turn into the supernatural things.
I did not come prepared. To be fair, I never come prepared.
Anyway, speaking of not prepared. Speaking of not prepared.
I can based on where you go from here.
At all. Great Albuquerque's on a 2-week lockdown.
What, Jesus? What is this?
So when y'all thought that we were over these lockdowns, y'all thought curfew was gone too far.
And that's how you laugh at your neighbor. The next thing you know,
you thought we got too radical in our curfews. Well, I got news for you. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh, and no, that's not even funny. That's not even funny.
And if you don't know,
now
Great Albuquerque, now you know you're on a lockdown.
So what happened? What happened?
I've been hearing some talks of that there was some little spreading happening over there of the COVID-19.
But more than here?
Well, first of all, their population is very small. So
y'all just bullying.
So any kind of little spread is like, okay, everybody catch it. Because everybody had like
plenty old people in Great Albuquerque.
Yeah, sort of middle age old. No, not necessarily old. We have a church down there. Pastor Katie Butler and Alifa praying for you. I hope y'all are safe down there at Great Albuquerque. But because their population is so small.
Yes, I recall we prayed for Great Albuquerque, COVID breakout. Yeah.
And I think because the majority of people work in one particular place, like they work down on the Keys where like tourists come and stuff like that. So I think when you have those kind of closely knit communities, once one person get it, everybody can get it. Because everybody, it don't even contact tracing. Everybody saw everybody.
Yeah.
It don't even contact tracing. No, I saw it. Yeah, no, I was there this morning. I went by a house. So I think that's what happened with Great Albuquerque. And so they're now experiencing 2-week lockdown. The orders have been extended. Restaurants and bars now have new restrictions on them. Cinemas, although I heard that Fusion said they still can be open. I don't know how true that is yet.
Because they have restaurants in there.
Yeah, like I saw that they put out a statement saying that they have some exemption from the competent authority to be open,
but not with not movies. Surely
they didn't really specify exactly what part of them is still open. So I don't know, but we have some new stuff in place. So y'all thought
it's a wake up call, isn't it?
Yeah, you remember
it's a wake up
last
call.
week we talked about the fact that we want to see an address from the Prime Minister. That's just to bring back some idea of that little fair. And he's like, I got y'all. He was listening to the show.
Okay.
He listened on the radio while he driving around
I can do
town.
one better. I'm gonna do you one better. I mean,
You're like, y'all don't get vaccinated. Y'all be out there having fun. Y'all know holidays coming up soon.
I don't think the corresponding. I don't think the fear is enough. I don't think the fear of this, like Great Barbecue,
Right here, no, Great Barbecue ain't it.
Restaurant, this, that. I don't think that's enough.
But I know I've begun to see now the pre-COVID dashboard show up again.
No longer, I'm telling you,
no longer the Excel
DGMT.
sheet. Yeah, no, I think they listening. There's some folks out there who talking about it.
So exemptions for existing entertainment businesses that have received special permission.
I want to come from Christoph.
You do want to know.
You know it's true.
You do want to facts, because I'm sure Christoph can explain to us this breeze that's been blowing this week.
Yeah, you know exactly what it is.
Breeze.
Where does high pressure system come from? So Marisha says that VIP Fusion is still available because it's separate
and sectioned.
Okay.
I wonder.
Is there anything I want to go to watch? No.
Because I feel like I don't think this information is necessarily hidden, but maybe it could be more readily shared. Because when you hear certain businesses or establishments have exemptions, there's a certain culture of, currying favor or knowing somebody who knows somebody.
There is, but to be honest,
probably should the exemption should be very. I think they should be very, very transparent. Like, this business got this exemption because of this.
But I think a lot of them, really you just have to ask.
Oh, I'm getting it.
Because a lot of time you have these ideas, like these people get a special exemption.
You then commit to certain measures.
Yeah.
So, for example, at school, there's this big, it's not a scandal, but the kids make it seem like a scandal. And honestly, I've had to go off on them like, you're a little bit privileged about the ACs not being on in class. Because when we applied to the ministry to be open, that was one of the protocols we agreed to follow. Now the science has maybe changed, and the belief in what the impact of AC on spreading the virus has changed, but then we haven't necessarily reapplied. So we've got parents complaining to the school,
but the children hot.
That the children hot, and the children are always complaining that they hot. And in my mind, I'm like, this is the best breeze I ever seen in this class. But anyhow. So for a different day. And of course, we can't do anything about that because the application stipulates we have to keep. So I think that's alerted me to the fact that actually by putting emergency orders in place and then allowing exemptions is really to encourage businesses to more strictly enforce certain protocols. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, so
I'm
pretty sure if y'all reapply, I think the whole AC thing that happened early on in the pandemic when it was still new. We were still learning things about it, learning how it's transmitted, learning all the little ramifications of it. But I think, for us at Life, we bought the filters, the special UV light filters that kills the germs. They cost a lot of money.
I just feel like the children need to stop complaining.
Who?
Children need to stop complaining.
Children? Yeah, I don't know.
One girl, her mommy say she's only coming to school for exams. I said, hey, mommy. She didn't say that. I said, hi, mommy. Hi. Okay, noted. I'm just a bit concerned that she might be missing important review classes between exams. They've complained to the school about how hot she is, and they've been told that nothing can be done about it. So she's going to be kept at home with the AC. My response, noted, full stop.
Does she have some allergic reaction to heat?
She's dead skinny. That's all. That's all I could see being the issue. And I was like, I don't have much meat on my bones either. I feel like Anyhow,
I got inside of the big crew.
Maybe she has a condition.
The big crew like us, I got inside us complaining about the hot classroom. Y'all skinny people, y'all be quiet.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because some skinny people be staying hot. Now, I do want to.
We had AC in 2 sections of our school growing up: the computer lab and one of the music rooms.
Yeah, not all of them. Music rooms get AC. Would you need music?
It wasn't all of them. It was
because but then
one particular room.
So for example, CH music room has AC for why? What do you need AC
I think
for?
I didn't teachers put those in there. The school didn't put them in there. I didn't teachers put them themselves.
I mean, QC had an AC in the music room and a computer room. I don't know.
Yeah, but the music room usually music rooms.
Because what happens in the music room that you need AC?
Yeah, keep the instruments cool.
What? The brass stem. All right. The drums.
I see Donnie come in as
child AC always needed. Music teacher privilege.
Yeah.
Music teacher
special areas
privilege.
Yeah, so I know computer room had AC and music room 1 block had AC. That's for me in high school. Other than that, you get no AC. What AC?
I wanted to say that, but I was like, you know what?
They say they get out near the cool rooms.
For what?
So they don't swell. So the wood don't swell. And
that's a good story. Nice story, bro.
It is. I mean,
nice story, bro.
Ain't true.
So anyway, I realized that there's some fights I should fight and some fights I gotta leave alone.
Yeah.
We counting down 4 weeks. We've already calculated that there are 18 school days left.
Yeah, really come down.
So excited. 18 school days left to the end of the year. It's just, I just want to bask in that for a moment. Franklin, Donicia, 18 school days.
With the state of emergency being extended, how is it now? Do we feel about getting these vaccines for those of you people out there who haven't gotten the vaccine yet?
Mind you, I went on the office of because I learned from Miss Mary, like one Walker, you don't just throw things out there. Go and read.
Information is
so I went on the office of the Prime Minister and I wanted to just check where we at. And I was just, every paragraph started like this. Vaccinated travelers or travelers who have received the vaccine. Fully vaccinated travelers. I was like, I don't like this. Because by the end of it, I was like, I want to be a fully vaccinated traveler.
I want to do things.
I don't want to be fully vaccinated. I just want to be a fully vaccinated traveler. That's all I wanted. I was like, I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah, so I
see what you're trying to do. Like, because I speaking to colleagues. I told you I've got a story for you guys, and I'm deeply concerned about it. But speaking to some colleagues, you know, one of the issues in the Bahamas is people are not getting vaccinated, like at the rate and the numbers. And I'm wondering why that is. There was, you know, I was speaking to these colleagues, and both these colleagues are British. One's been here 3 years, one's been here 10. So, you know, different experiences.
Yeah.
But they were talking about how they watched maybe a news segment or something about comparing the Bahamas to Barbados and how Barbados has, you know, a vast majority of the population vaccinated, whereas Bahamas is struggling to vaccinate its population. And like culturally, attitudes to like medicine and attitudes to vaccinations are similar.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, so what are some of the factors that are impacting Bahamians' decisions? And I would really like to hear what you guys think as to why you think Bahamians are resistant to taking the vaccine. Barbados is smaller, but proportionately, it's got more of its population vaccinated. Proportionately,
per capita,
and just on numbers alone, it's got more people vaccinated. So you think the Bahamians are not getting vaccinated because it's a bigger country? Like what? I don't understand how Barbados being smaller has an impact on the proportion of because it's a percentage of the population that needs to be vaccinated to achieve herd immunity. Yeah. So I wonder why Bahamians are. I mean,
I think at this point now, I think the freedom of information has a lot to do with it for us, because back in the day when they tell you get vaccinated, there was nothing for you to go online and see. Let me look at what's inside this vaccine before I take this.
But do you think people are doing all of that before they say I'm not taking it?
They're not doing it, but they're hearing from people who have done it. I'm not actually going and find information myself.
You're also hearing from people that are advocating for the vaccine.
Ain't enough of them.
I think so?
I don't think it's enough trustworthy people out there who have been vaccinated.
The whole who?
Yeah,
the whole
definitely.
The whole who?
None of organizations can convince anybody to do anything.
But then, okay, Miss Mary is making a very powerful statement here. It's very attacking. But I want to ask Miss Mary why. Okay, if that's true, why? She says Bahamians are more gullible to misinformation. Why? Why?
It sounds better to say. I don't like it. I ain't for that. Y'all trying to get me. It's just easier and more fun to say.
Renice says it's the conspiracy theories. Renice, you just bust open a can of worms. So I have to tell my story.
There's a little can right there. Let me sit down there.
This one here?
Yeah,
You're Delton about to drink this? I don't know how I feel. I don't
First of all,
any drink that looks like this.
They don't advertise on the show. Put it down.
I've just said it's risky business. I don't trust it. Anyway, so Renice, disclaimer: I am not a conspiracy theorist. I think it requires the news, views, comments on the show do not necessarily reflect the views of the management, staff, and sponsors of Glory 93.9. Okay, so not a conspiracy theorist. I think that's way too much energy, and I'm far too lazy.
Yeah.
Also, I am very indifferent to the vaccine. I'm neither for nor against. I'm just neutral. I want to be a vaccinated traveler. I don't want to be a vaccinated person. See? See how that's a perfect
You
summation
want the title
of my position.
I want the title of it.
My primary concern as a person, not as a traveler, because now we're talking about Vera the traveler. Primary concern as a traveler is I want to go home in June. I don't want no one tell me. Look at Crystal. Oh my, Crystal, the Holy Ghost directed you here. So Crystal is my colleague. Everybody say hi to Crystal. I think this is Crystal's first
Crystal.
time
Welcome
on
to
DGMT, and she just slid in at the perfect time because I said to Crystal, I have to tell this story on DGMT today. So my disclaimer is I'm not a conspiracy theorist and I am indifferent. I want to be a vaccinated traveler. I don't want to be a vaccinated person. That is my position. However, the traveler is speaking at this point in time because I want to go home. Like I done been on this island for 1.5 years. I haven't seen my mother. I have not seen my nieces. They have, one of them turned 16 in the time in this whole pandemic. It's just not been ideal. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Understood.
Me going home is highly dependent on the attitudes of the rest of the world to the Bahamas. Now, if you're all out here wilding and the numbers go up, the likelihood is that where I'm going are going to be inclined to say, y'all Bahamians a bit too wild for us. Over here, plenty of us reckless. Over here, plenty of us vaccinated, so y'all could stay where you are. I don't need that to happen between now and like the end of August. I need everybody in the world to be like, oh no, Bahamians, stay sensible. Yeah, we could deal with it.
Good folks.
That's what I need. And that's what I'm praying and interceding for. Crystal, I got you covered. So me and my colleagues are having this conversation with 2 other colleagues that are British and in a similar situation to me. Now, one of those colleagues is vaccinated. The other one is not.
Okay.
The other one intends to get vaccinated. The other one is me. Who is
I am
precisely what I said I am. So we were talking about this, and one of my colleagues brings up the issue of how far can we trust like numbers? How far can we trust COVID tests? And they gave this scenario, not even a scenario, this incident as an example.
I'm ready for it.
DGMT, are you ready? Because when I heard this thing, it shook all my insides. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I've watched Scandal. And so there are some things that I hear, I have to believe. Like, once you watch Scandal, you realize the people who run the world, they do not have your best interests at heart. Thank God we have a God that sits high, look low, and sovereign over everything. So one of my colleagues is telling me how their sister lives in the Seychelles. So the Seychelles are an island off the coast of Africa. If I'm wrong, someone fix it for me because I'll be very, very embarrassed. Am I right? I think so. Anyhow, and she's a teacher in the Seychelles. Now, been pandemic, she's been trapped. She just wants to go home. She's been trying to leave. Now, she had a contract with the school, but at this point in time, she's just ready to go.
Yeah. Okay.
So sis gets a test. She books a ticket to leave and she gets a test. She has to wait a good while for this test to come back. When it eventually comes back, she receives a handwritten confirmation that she is indeed positive. Now, the context of this is this particular individual, she wants to leave because she has been so isolated. She is like so entirely lonely. She's a Brit living in the Seychelles, doesn't have any friends. She has 2 people that she knows and speaks to. She has been working from home because school has been closed. So to be told she is positive doesn't make any sense because she hasn't actually been interacting with anybody. So she finds this like highly suspicious. So she speaks to a doctor friend that she knows. And the doctor friend says, I strongly advise you get another COVID test.
Yeah.
Because the government have been issuing positive tests to foreigners and tourists. What's the reason? Person who I was speaking to, remind me again. Why did they do that? So anyway, the idea is that like for money, what was it? Oh, they're doing it because fix it for me. WhatsApp me. WhatsApp me and fix it. So essentially this is the reason why. Because if you test positive, you've got to quarantine in a hotel. You've got to quarantine in a hotel for 2 weeks and you've got to pay for it. So it's a money-making scheme.
Makes sense.
Basically.
Crystal said it. Quarantine, hotel.
So she receives a positive test and is put in this detention center that is in a hotel and she has to pay to be there. Wow. So essentially, that's the scheme that this doctor friend of hers tells her is going down. So she was like, honestly, that makes sense to me because I really shouldn't be positive. So the doctor says, you need to get 2 more. You need to get tested again and get 2 tests. You need 2 negatives to prove that first positive isn't correct. She gets the 2 tests and they are indeed both negative. So she doesn't have COVID. However, this detention center that she's in / hotel that she has to quarantine in, she's actually being made to stay there for a minimum of 5 days.
Regardless of the 2 tests.
Regardless of the 2 tests, because that's the least amount of days they keep people in the place. Right? So a lot of back and forth. She's, I think she did the 5 days. Apparently her experience there was awful. Like the food was horrible, canned mushrooms at one point, that kind of situation. So she's eventually out of this. But my question the question that arose out of hearing this story is how much of what's going on is political? Because there has to be some political element to this. There has to be. Everything that goes on in the world is political. Everything. When you think about, is there certain funding? Is there certain aid that countries are getting as a result of how many or what percentage of their population is vaccinated?
Farm can look up big farm out there.
I know for fact our prime minister is not going to be sitting there with his hands crossed waiting for Bahamians to get vaccinated. He's going to take whatever measures necessary to encourage Bahamians to get vaccinated. Now, I have no idea about the methods that he will use, but I have to question everything I hear, everything I see, because it is alarming comparative to the rest of the world for people whose priority is to get the population vaccinated, that such a small number of Bahamians are getting vaccinated. So, therefore, all the information we get, Miss Mary said Bahamians are gullible to misinformation. We cannot be gullible to the fact that all information we get is not, all the kind of official information we get is not necessarily transparent, purely true. Like, get the vaccine if you like. If you don't, that's okay. The consequence you pay will be you won't be able to dine indoors, because that's our newest punishment, by the way. Non-vaccinated persons, you can't dine indoors. You just watch your vaccinated friends sit on the inside. Small things. I told you, vaccinated person, vaccinated traveler.
Bigger.
Yeah. But I think for me that was just alarming, because I thought, hold on. Like, what kind of the money that is attached? Like someone like me, if I go to the UK and if the UK puts the Bahamas on the red list, I would have to quarantine for 2 weeks in a hotel, and the cost to me would be about £1,700, not dollars.
And you gotta pay for that.
I have to pay for that.
I know that part of the conspiracy is, not conspiracy, but that part of the outlook is different. Now, I do know there was a while back, I think it's what we talked about on DGMT, a person that we know, we both know the person. I don't know if I told you who it was before, where they signed up, they did the little drive-through COVID testing. This is in America, and they signed up, they put their name down and do the test. While on the line, they left. They didn't do the test. You did not tell me the story. And then this, like a few weeks later, got a test. Hey, you positive.
I don't understand.
So before you go on the drive-through thing, there's someone goes through and they register you. So they register you, take your name down, la la ray ray. They didn't do the test. Something happened, they left the line. Got some results back a few days later. It's like, sorry, your test came back positive.
Miss Mary is talking about how this is an isolated incident. I don't think that's so. I think that's a practice of a particular nation based on, their demographic, based on the fact that, for example, the Seychelles attracts foreign, like people like me, people that work, that are there as residents on a work permit. Yeah. That's not an isolated incident, Miss Mary. That's a practice of a nation based on its circumstances. And I wonder, what are the circumstances that affect the political aspects of COVID reporting, COVID numbers, vaccination? I've already told you guys, long time before I heard this story, me getting vaccinated is nothing to do with conspiracy. However, we cannot deny that there are political ramifications of a vaccinated population or a non-vaccinated population. So I don't think it's fair to say that this is an isolated incident that we now use to determine what's happening in the Bahamas. I don't think something like that would happen in the Bahamas. I think we too easily find out and too easily make a big old ruckus about it.
Especially when you know who in the hotel. See?
But my point is, it opened my eyes to there are layers. There are layers to this. There are layers to the information that filters to the public. Always has been about anything, about Ebola, about the flu, about I don't know, tourism, about schools, about education. It happens for everything. Crystal's. Oh, but there you go. Crystal said you can Google and see that it's not isolated. The World Health Organization is investigating the country at the moment.
Julianne says, first of all, I thank you so much for the spelling of this word because I have never heard it recited before until today. So I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But anyways, Julianne says the Seychelles raised red flag to the rising COVID post-vaccination of a great portion of their population. Mary says the mix-up of tests is sentinel.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right, Miss Mary, I get back.
But I understand where Miss Mary will always come from as a health professional because she is in the healthcare.
And I apologize before I told my story because I knew Miss Mary was going to come for me.
Because she is in the healthcare system, especially speaking here from the Bahamas, they try their best to debunk any kind of conspiracy because in the healthcare system the beds are in use, which means that there is a pandemic happening, and so
there are numbers rising.
And so, regardless of how we may feel,
one thing about us, we could be diplomatic on DGMT.
This is me,
yeah?
PC all the way, politically correct. Regardless of how we may feel, the numbers are indeed rising, and so it's something that we have to take seriously, regardless of how you may feel about the vaccine or not. So, get your vaccine. Seeing as
DGMT is, we know our conversations are being heard in high places. We know. Based on last week and what happened this week with the restrictions being increased, and we know that people are listening. What would you suggest, Miss Mary? I ain't asking you because I just think you're gonna row. The rest of you, what would you suggest, or what would you need as an individual? What kind of information would you need? What kind of incentive? I know that's the poor choice of words, but you get my point.
Yeah.
To encourage more of the population to be vaccinated, because the reality is it's here, it hasn't gone anywhere. Or are we kind of all just expecting it to lift and disappear so we can carry on smartly and never be vaccinated? Is it that we need more information? Is it that we need more choices? Do we believe we need more options? Some countries have all the vaccines available.
I think the idea of having multiple vaccines may help in certain numbers if it's just not the AstraZeneca. But I've already heard people who saying that they're not taking the other ones because they don't like how they are manufactured. They heard messing with embryos and the stem cells and how these other companies get it. I think there are pros and cons, those who are in favor and not in favor for all of them. We tried the intrinsic, that's saying again this is better for your health and your family. We tried the extrinsic and telling you that you can get to travel and
you can live your best life.
You can eat inside the restaurants. You can have junk and ain't none of them things working.
So you just think that's it?
I think
as we are. That's where we're gonna be.
I think right now for the prayer of the Bahamian is I not it before I straight. I think for a lot of Bahamians who didn't believe, I had not this before. I okay. I think that's what a lot of them are thinking. I see you squinting, ma'am. This is very
because I'm trying to read. Sorry. You need to get these comments. Plenty comments coming.
Yeah, I see you squinting. What are you squinting at? All right. Persons. We this one ready? Okay, I guess it's very fix that thing right there behind you because someone's watching says that that's annoying them.
Turn me off because I want.
Let's push it. That's right there. Bang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Sorry with that DGMT here. Sorry for that distraction.
Wow. You read Dwayne's comment about concessions?
No, because you jumped to.
Sorry, I did.
Dwayne says correct. I think many countries and healthcare systems are eligible to be awarded much more grant money, research funds, concessions, WHO assistance, etc. And so they do as much as they can to keep the people fake sick. Is what Dwayne I think is trying to say. I think we got Crystal Loon in there. We also got Miss Mary. Mary says, but persons believe that because they have the vaccine, they will not get COVID. The science of the vaccine is that vaccine lessens the severity of the stresses are not likely to need hospitalization. So I think we talked about before here. Thanks, Miss Mary. That the idea is that once you get the vaccine, you can still catch COVID. However, you more than likely won't die from it. It'll just be like the flu. Sleep it off.
Is it like you know that belief that you're going to be young forever until you're old? that belief that you're going to be okay. Like you could catch COVID and it's not going to kill you, or it's not going to hospitalize you until you catch COVID and it kills you or hospitalizes you. You know what? One of those things, like, we're just taking life for granted. We're like, yeah, I know it's around, but I'm not really scared of it because I'm not going to be the one that goes to hospital. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be the one that catches cancer. I'm not going to be the one whose knees don't bend when she gets to 40. It's not going to be me. And then then it is you.
Yeah, no,
I don't think people are scared enough of it.
I know people who've had COVID and it did them dirty.
Did that scare you, Delton?
No, I think I've had it before too. I'm pretty sure, like, when it first started. No, right? Like, back,
we already had this conversation.
Back in like April, like when that drug first started, I saw it. That
came knocking on your door.
That drug was right there at my house. I saw it at it. So I mean, it doesn't. I mean, one, I fear no disease.
My God,
But take outside the spiritual context. No, I've none of those incidents have ever scared me to be like, I need to get this vaccine now, or because I'm scared I can die, or scared I can get it and never be hospitalized. Never had it. I have a fat comorbidity. That's only fat. I don't have any diabetes, or high blood pressure, anything like that. I'm fat.
Y'all pray for me, man. I can't with Delta.
So I have that comorbidity of just being obese, and that's one of the side effects. But I mean, I still never had the fear of I need to get this now because I'm fat.
Because I feel like what Miss Mary's saying about the fact that it doesn't stop you from getting it, it just means you're less severe effects and you less likely to need hospitalization. I think too many people don't fear hospitalization anyway, to be motivated to then get it, to avoid going to hospital. Now, from the government's perspective, we need you not to be hospitalized because our healthcare system cannot bear the load of the amount of people who need to be hospitalized. But on the flip side, I was never scared of being hospitalized. Therefore, let me not take the vaccine. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's one of the things that we're dealing with. Some people are coming up with suggestions as to what can be done.
We get Carlos's comments in there. Carlos, so Wilkinson, good morning. Welcome to DGMT.
Morning.
The fact is that we live in the information age. So with proper research, we can find out things that are supposedly hidden secrets. Knowledge empowers people too.
In response to Carlisa, I agree 1,000%. I just wonder if I only have to research if I'm trying to take the vaccine. If I already decided I'm not taking it, I don't need to do no research. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the easy option is let me not be informed at all. Let me not be informed. Let me not be misinformed. Let me just carry on smartly.
It is true.
You know what I mean? It's just easier. It's less effort.
So as I said, the behavior required is just to remain safe. Franklin says, for me, it's the fact that most of the individuals pushing the vaccine have not taken it. That Franklin, is also
that's
true.
A bold statement.
No, that on Barbershop Talk.
I heard.
You heard that? And then in my personal life, I have encountered many of the healthcare workers, some who did videos. They were out here promoting, pushing.
Miss Mary, why is that? Why is it that not? I guess it comes down to personal choice, because it doesn't matter what you do, you still have a personal choice.
Like, I know number of healthcare workers who I know some were in the video that were promoting the vaccine, and it's like, nah, not yet. And I've heard that a lot too. I've heard not yet as well too. So I think a lot of persons.
What are you guys waiting for? This is like salvation. He's coming back soon.
Franklin
may be too late.
Franklin said it earlier, and I think a lot of other persons feel the same way. Let me see what happened to you first.
Franklin say 2023, bro. In 2023, we can be dealing with the chicken foot disease. It's going to be something different. It's going to be new. You want to jump on corona vaccine in 2023?
The pigeon toe.
It's now or never.
It's the pigeon toe disease.
The pigeon toe.
No, I think a lot of persons are in that state of mind too, where let me see what, because there's not enough information yet for me to know what this vaccine has on a person that's dealing with this, on a person dealing with this. So now it's like, let's test it out on y'all, and then we can know.
I will not lie. I think that's a good excuse. I don't think people are really waiting.
You think they're waiting?
No, because I think if you really want to see the impact, you've got to wait longer than a couple of months or a year. And by the time you've seen everything you want to see, by the time you've seen it, there's no point.
Still didn't get it though, because it's still gonna be around.
I haven't seen it, and you're still alive, and COVID ain't killed you yet. Your immunity to COVID is just as good as having the vaccine.
Crystal said we need more options. Crystal said we need more vaccine options.
Yeah,
Johnson, Pfizer.
I heard from some people that it's just, I would rather just get a one and done.
That was me too. I wanted Johnson & Johnson. That whole one shot.
But you realize if you got the AstraZeneca, you would have done your 2 and you'd be finished by now.
Yeah, but I like the fact that Johnson & Johnson said you just get one. It's just the optics and the sound of it. It just sounds good. It's like, I'd rather come back to y'all. I get my shot and I out here. Renee says, perhaps testimonials from those who have been vaccinated may cause persons to feel at ease. Yes, I know, because then there are some who have been vaccinated who I know personally. It didn't go too good. Who got vaccinated. And I know some who had it. I want a little headache, slap it off, good to go. So I think because I like Miss Berry said, we are more gullible to not just misinformation, but bad news as well. We like the song of bad news, because if I hear 100 people took the vaccine and nothing happened, but then one person had it, that one person is going to get publicized, and it's going to get pushed around, and it's going to make the news, and it's going to go all around that someone took the vaccine and possibly died or was hospitalized. Forget the 100 that took it and then nothing, because we like the bad news. Bad news sounds better. It
travels quicker.
It's better on the palate.
Definitely travels quicker. It's better.
Jody Ann says, I think Big Pharma played each other and by extension played people. So now we have a lot of persons who are vaccine hesitant.
What do you mean by they played each other and by extension played people? What do you mean? Like the competition between them?
Yeah, the competition between them, yeah.
Interesting.
Someone, let me read I got a private message. Let me get that out there. My problem with the entire vaccine thing is that time hasn't passed to give proper data in relation to pregnancy and fertility. Also, how have we come to a point where we are being intimidated into taking a vaccine? How do we now come to a point where I must present my personal information to strangers saying I'm vaccinated, to persons with TB or exposed to go to in restaurants and display their information? That's a highly communicable disease as well.
Interesting. I never thought about
different point about TB, carrying around your TB vaccination.
I think when you say you feel intimidated by what? I definitely don't feel intimidated now. I just want to be a vaccinated traveler. I
think from the terms of what the sort of the language the prime minister uses, sort of feel like he's kind of like, well, all right, y'all little stinking root here.
Yeah, but
y'all don't take the vaccine.
Yeah, but he's right though. If you don't take the vaccine,
you're taking inside the restaurant today.
No,
tell a lie.
Ultimately, this is what we're putting our faith in. If you're not taking that, we don't have anything else to offer you.
Yeah, we don't.
You got to pull on what you believe on and trust and believe.
We try to tell you wash your hands.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't wash your hands.
No.
We tell y'all wash your hands. Y'all ain't listen to us. We tell y'all put your mask on. You don't wear it properly.
See, now, for me, as I told you, I'm mostly neutral. I'm not leaning either way. But it's things like this that make me lean the other way. Like, ugh, really? Have I skipped a comment?
You skipped a few comments.
I haven't said anything yet.
Okay, I know you get.
Do you know where you finish what you're doing then?
All right, so Donald leading the street. She say good day. My good people. It's been a while. Yeah, Donald. He was there last week.
It's been a while.
He was there last week and then he was missing for 2 weeks.
Where?
He was there last week.
What?
Even though Don, last time I think we were here together, you was bring flower cake.
Don, and honestly, be flagging today.
Yeah,
one
right?
flower cake delivery.
Yeah, right. Franklin says payments don't like PMH. I mean,
what's that got to? That should be that should drive people to get vaccinated.
The vaccine then.
Because you don't go to PMH to get the vaccine.
Yeah, so I mean, they probably need to go get vaccinated. They like PMH.
Franklin, I feel like they need to put that on a poster. If you don't want to end up at PMH,
take the vaccine.
Because you say I feel like that goes the opposite way.
It's like a put a PMH. This could be this could be you.
Oh no, Miss Mary, please don't be mad.
This could be you. Like, this is your life with the vaccine.
Oh, this is your life. And they need to have a picture of people like an Outback, but on the inside.
Outback inside eating. This is your life with vaccine. Then a picture of PMH.
Maybe the advertising just needs to go like straight persuasion. Like they just need to go straight
manipulative
advertising. Just like yeah, that's what they need to go. Like,
this could be you.
Go like American cheesy. They need to go American cheesy on the advertising.
Like, don't be like Tom. Don't get cable.
Don't be like Tom. I for the first 5 weeks, I said I wasn't taking the vaccine until soft music in the background. Listen, that's what we need.
Y'all call us at DGMT. We better just get a few on Mary. Although we probably
oh God.
Colin says you can get vaccinated and still get COVID as well as you may never get COVID without the vaccination.
Oh Jesus.
Which is true. Based upon the numbers of persons who actually have died and got the COVID, you can get COVID without the vaccination. You get them with the vaccination. Anyway, Christoph says they had it on the news. It's true. Many aren't vaccinated.
Yeah. I think that the number was like in the 30,000s of people who were vaccinated. And the population is what? Apparently pushing 400,000?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's not.
It's not a strong
Herd
number.
immunity is far away, buddy.
It's not a strong number.
You all need to go like wartime propaganda.
hesitancy.
That's what we need.
Yeah,
Wartime
there's
propaganda.
kind of stuff out there.
Yeah.
Mary said, I'm fully vaccinated. Some of my colleagues have made their personal choice, and I have made my decision. That's what we say, right? A lot of it. God, and it
That's the
says,
first thing that
so
came to my spirit.
what will happen if another disease murders in 2023 then?
Well, you have to take another vaccine.
You gotta find another one. Try something
I
else.
mean, because you got to think about how they vaccinate babies. But there's a time where babies need to take all the vaccines that they take in.
Yeah.
All the things that we're protecting our babies
I
from.
lose count. A lot of them they had to go. I got the paper. What this was? I remember this. I don't remember me taking this. Like it's just like, all right, and this one here, this is for this. This one here, like, all right, go ahead. Like I didn't.
You know the best vaccine? Let your children eat dirt. When they-
Eat food off the
Let
floor.
them play on the ground, roll around in the grass,
off the floor,
and be in the sea.
Yeah, go to the beach.
Go to the beach plenty.
Eat the dirty sand. Go in the salt water. Never get
These
sick.
stories just be rolling in. Catch them, Delton. Catch them.
Where it says more than 20 million persons have been immunized.
That means vaccinated.
Yeah, I guess being fully vaccinated.
Okay, fully vaccinated in the world.
Yeah, Shaquinda says more vaccine options as well as more in-depth information on the side effects. And Shaquinda, I think side effects are being learned as the time goes along.
I think what they know is out there to know. Like, I think what they know, they've told us.
Yeah, so as more, sorry, you also get this as well. No, one more thing. So apparently, if you take the vaccine, you get this as well.
I want to say.
Okay, if you're pregnant, this might happen as well.
And that's the one everyone's banking on.
If
the
you're
effects on
breastfeeding,
pregnant
sorry about
women.
that. If you're breastfeeding your child, about them, they get up with this.
Stop
But
it.
as time is going on, they find out more things. So I don't think they could give you the in-depth information on side effects. Franklin says, let Bill take it. Pretty sure he means Bill Gates.
He hasn't taken it? No, I don't believe that.
That's Bill taking it?
He has
I
to
don't know,
have.
you know.
He has to have.
Why?
Because he's Bill Gates. And because for some reason in the pandemic, he became a medical professional.
Yeah, somewhere along the lines.
Because in the pandemic, we were not talking about Microsoft. We were talking about pandemic and vaccine. And he
And
was
Bill
there
Gates.
on the screen all the time.
All
So
the time.
he has to have.
Like, so Bill Gates.
He has to have.
Like, this isn't a computer virus. You like you do realize, Bill.
This is humans we're
this
dealing
is
with. Like, you don't
not-
know about this. This is not your speciality.
This is not a computer virus. I'm not sure if they told you.
Meanwhile,
I know you heard virus and got excited, but no, this is not that kind
Bill
of
and
virus.
wifey done split. We never spoke about that. But
Yeah,
what
no,
is
we
there
didn't
to
talk
even
about that.
say? What is there to even say?
Nothing to say.
What is there to say?
Both of them living their best lives.
Regardless.
Regardless. They probably closer together now than they were married. It doesn't matter.
I've heard it said.
Crystal said they stopped giving AstraZeneca to under 50 in the UK.
And that's my problem. That's the one for me that's making me like, I wasn't gonna take it, but now
Yeah, no, there, and I think
I was neutral. But
this
now,
is what this goes back to what Shaquinda says. They find no things to get
as they go along. But then I feel like that information doesn't translate from one country to the next. I said this the other day. I talked about how I watched, a press conference, and it was a British medical professional talking about how who's this mysterious they, are advising citizens between the ages of 18 to 29, and we spoke about that whole your body is not necessarily the age that you are, because clearly my body's 53 from how I woke up this morning after the youth meeting yesterday. Like, why the information, the application is not blanket?
Yeah,
because we're not hearing that here.
I think
so Bahamian under 50s are different from British under 50s.
I mean, one, that's another thing that you have to put in fact the body climate, where you live, all that stuff in, and then think about it.
So is my
as
body
well.
where I lived for 25 years, or where I've lived for 6 years?
Is it now Bahamian? But I also
think, my body now Bahamian. Oh,
like, how is my immune system recognized?
And then if I take it now, okay, I live in sunny climes, but I'm going home for summer and it's cooler.
How will that work?
And that's the period of time where I first took the vaccine.
Like,
what's that gonna?
Daylight saving time. You're 5 hours ahead. What exactly does that do for my body if you're 5 hours ahead of me? But I think, they also said too that a lot of the things that they're experiencing is based upon where the batch came from, the factory was made. That's another thing too. Yeah, look at where it was made. I think that was when the batch that came, when who was it UK that's having the a high amount of blood clots. And
Yeah.
I think our minister said it's like that. I don't
That
really.
was their batch.
That's their batch. We get our one from another supplier. We get the high grade stuff. Their
Same
one.
ingredients, but different arm.
Yeah.
Pot.
Yeah, the
one that cook our pot, strong arm.
Yeah. It's a big arm.
She stirred
Let me get your comments. These comments coming in faster than I can see them.
Thick and fast.
Yo, a kiki.
We've been long on this topic. Oh my god, look how long we've been here.
You can only get Moderna or Pfizer now. I guess that's in the UK.
Yeah, if you are under 50.
Frankly, you may just be
I
the
might
lucky
just come
one.
back vaccinated.
They pitted vaccines against each other. Yeah, Pfizer plus Moderna versus the AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson. The different technologies in the US versus the UK, not to mention Brexit. So that was back to when Jody's talking about the big pharma and how the competition came in.
Yeah.
Dwayne says a lot of people love to use the too soon excuse about the vaccine, but I'm pretty positive those people still won't take it in 2024 or 2030.
I'm with Dwayne.
At least the people that he knows.
I'm with Dwayne, and I'm calling Franklin Donaldson out. You're waiting for the vaccine to cook in someone. You're not going to go and get it if they're fine. I just don't. I feel like that's an excuse people are using. I don't necessarily feel like.
But I like it. Amos Mary says, "Come on, please."
No, she has a very good comment underneath that.
Yeah, going there. We getting there. Donald Leland Jr. says one of his church members started having seizures after taking the first jab. She hasn't been able to drive herself around since. One, we are praying for her for a complete recovery, and two,
stretch forth your hand, saints.
Yeah, these I've heard some persons who had some complications after their first jab as well.
And then you don't necessarily know how you're going to react to the jab until you've had the jab. Like someone else's story isn't necessarily.
No, you can't be like.
Shouldn't encourage or deter.
Are you straight? Okay, then let me go take it.
Renice was saying we should get testimonials of people that have had it, but then actually, the testimonials of the people that have had it and it didn't go so well would all leave us right back where we started. I don't know how my body's going to react to this.
Oh boy, don't get some more comments coming. Yikes! Oh, politicizing the vaccine has not helped the Bahamas as well.
Yeah, I mean that when Jody explained that how they pitted themselves against each other, I wonder if we just had one vaccine that was being promoted by all pharmaceutical companies, or something that they all produce is the same tech. Even if you use different technologies, just it's the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, but no,
full stop. Period.
But I didn't make more money than you though.
I'm not that. Economically.
Yeah, no, I didn't make more money than you.
I'm not that way inclined. So I don't quite understand if all these countries are getting vaccines for free, who's paying for it?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I don't get.
Phrase to be pleasantly surprised behaving every day.
Tell them.
Another comment says that two of his wife's co-workers died after taking the jab. But all this info is hush hush.
No hush hush now.
Not now. It's not really. Jesus Lord.
Really? Really? Donald,
those persons who are vaccinated are the ones you should be concerned about. They slack and breaking the rules. Which is true. I've heard most persons talk, but once they get fully vaccinated.
Because if I hear the numbers of people who vaccinated and the numbers of people who ain't vaccinated and the number of slackers can be only vaccinated.
No, but those who take the vaccine, I think there is some mindset that they can now be slack.
Y'all was being slack before anyhow.
No, but it's worse for them.
Y'all
non-vaccinated people.
Peter
talk the other day. Say he will be slack, and he hugging everybody. He say once he gets fully vaccinated, in no more naps, everybody get hugs.
I think we all need to 1, 2, 3, and everyone go and get it one time, because it's also so the Bahamas paid for. So governments are paying for the vaccine, but it's administered free of charge. Understood.
I've made my decision. Lord have mercy on today from Christoph. John has new seizures new seizures or first one. I think Jody's accent on, but the seizure was this where you going? Oh, I think our internet just dropped. You still on?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this is my computer properly. Jody Ann says we will be surprised how many side effects the meds we take regularly have, which is true. Like even that fried chicken.
We spoke about this before.
Like
we're putting a lot of
effects.
things in our bodies that we know have bad side effects, and we don't have any problem doing that. Oily foods, alcohol. Those of you who do that, we know they have bad effects, and we still make the choice. But now I was like, I'm not taking this vaccine. It might have bad effects.
Yeah, I might get.
Now this greasy chicken is definitely going to stop my heart at some point.
But
this vaccine,
however,
may not.
I don't know what it's gonna do. I ain't sure about this. Franklin says that would have been published and put there. I think he just wanted to Jody talk about the side effects. What happens if I'm unable to have kids? The governor has already said that they will not be held accountable. Whenever someone does want to take, accidentally look out for it. I don't say whenever someone does what. I gotta make sense of that, Franklin. You type that again. So makes no sense of that last statement. As Mary said, the Bahamas paid for the vaccine is being administered free of charge.
Thank you for educating me. I told you I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. His baby taking a dozen different injections for immunizations or vaccination or whatever mothers will panic most about and get my baby bawling every time. Oh, yeah.
I have a firm stomach for that, Dwayne.
Surprisingly, I'm pretty cool at it. I don't know what this means.
When the children get injected, you sound
me Dallas.
sadistic about you, Delton.
Even Dallas, it's like,
Did Dallas cry though?
Oh,
some babies don't cry though.
That first job is like a little shock, but that second one, because you need two at the same time. Our first leg, he caught him off guard. He did like a little. That second one, head back, mouth open wide.
And you were like, "Oh, this is okay."
I was like, "Come on, guy, hold it together." I was like, "Come on, guy, you can do this." 6 months old. Those persons fully vaccinated can still spread it. So then what? So I mean, you could get the vaccine too. So you can be like them. And so everybody live free and slack.
Well, not really, because when they're dining inside, y'all can't go in there.
No, but then they can come outside and walk past us still, and then cough on off.
I wonder if the people that that's your foot. I wonder if the people that serve indoors have to be fully vaccinated too, because that has implications on your employment.
It does. I think that's why a lot of employers are starting to. They want to lean more towards it. They can legally, I think, make you get the vaccine. But I saw a restaurant ad, and they were only hiring staff that
are vaccinated.
Vaccinated.
How this is the beginning of the end, guys.
Yeah,
segregation all over again.
Franklin says, "You take it, you die. You don't take it, you may still die. You still may die." Yes.
You see, I've lost steam. I end where I began. I want to be a vaccinated traveler.
Not a vaccinated
Don't want to be a vaccinated person.
Some people taking more versus conk than the vaccine.
So this whole conk thing, you realize I've just been carrying on smartly. Crack conk. I just had conk. I had stewed conk from Big Boys. So it wasn't until I saw Stephanie Bazile. She's listening. I saw Stephanie Bazile post on her WhatsApp status. Is it safe to eat conk now? I really feel like conk salad. And in my mind, I was like, it wasn't safe to eat conk.
And here you are.
Not taking
the vaccine.
Oh, listen, conk. I've had crack conk at least once every week for the last 2 weeks. I had stew conk just Friday, and I still have some in the fridge that I plan to go and eat today.
You had no care.
But that was ignorance. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. I didn't put the problem to the conk. I'm about to eat conk. I didn't connect the dots. You didn't connect the
conk word. That word.
I didn't get it. Stephanie, but I've been eating it. Now, mind you, I'm not here I'm on DGMT promoting go eat conk. But what I'm saying is my ignorance just had me eating it.
And then this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Because your body is still in the UK system. It's not reacting.
Y'all have had me imprisoned on this island.
It's not the way.
If anybody's body should react to conk poison, it should be me. It should be me, the foreigner. That's it.
Christoph said babies don't care about side effects from food. We have a common one called sleep.
It's the itis, buddy.
It's the itis. We typically
that virus is well known.
Consumption, if in a proper position. Frank says the word should have been
an hour and 8 minutes talking about
the word should have been accountability. If Bill Gates talking, it would be publicized. So if you're taking it, it would be publicized.
I'm googling that right now because I can't believe it.
That he wouldn't take it.
No, he hasn't taken it.
You know, there's this whole conspiracy that he's just doing it to just depopulate the world, something like just talk about it. So why would he take it if that was the talk?
But my thing is, how did Bill Gates get in this? He's run computer.
I tell you the virus. You heard virus. You got excited. You heard there's a little virus going around. You got this. I coming in hot with the cure. You found it? What Goggle say?
He got his no. That's Bill Gates. There's a picture of a different man though.
So no, you didn't get it.
Y'all keep talking. I can figure this out right now.
That's probably you think. We just say check your Facebook inbox.
I did, Marish, but I didn't understand it. Oh no, Bill Gates is vaccinated. Got vaccinated in January.
Okay. Which one you look? Oh, you know.
I wonder if he said, because that's that's political in and of itself.
The Microsoft one. He took the Microsoft.
The Microsoft vaccine.
Took the Microsoft vaccine.
It's the exclusive.
Yeah. Of course, but let's got a divorce. He's more concerned about the money. How much money he
You
had
see
to
the
give
thing
that woman.
Marisha sent? You sent it to Delton too, Marisha?
She sent it to me. And she sent it to me.
It's just you're crazy. That's the point. That's the bottom line of this.
Yeah, so she sent me. But that was our housekeeping portion of the show. How we can talk about this for an hour and change. Y'all still ain't getting vaccinated.
And nothing ain't happening in the house. Nothing ain't happening in the house. Nothing new happened in the house, and we was on housekeeping for an hour and 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Powerful.
I mean, we had the extension of the orders.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
That was new, and so we're there now, and so we're moving forward.
Pressing on.
Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, so what else is there? News and reviews in the country. We did birthdays.
I think there's any other news, Delton. Now, I must say, this week, DGMT is y'all were on fire because I got a good few things sent to me. Mind you, y'all got to send the topic too, because y'all send a video, and my slow brain would be like, what's the topic?
I just see the thing that we just
I just see it.
Oh,
Y'all doing the most.
man, that's okay.
But I don't want. You want to post? You can post it without posting the name.
The picture.
Yeah, like cut out the name.
So, I don't want to put any person's name on this. So let me just. I want to take the.
So what I would say, DGMT is y'all been on fire this week. Y'all have been very, very consciously sending things. Shauna Smith was firing on all cylinders, but Shauna, some of them things you send me, I can't post that. I scared.
So one of the things that made news in 242.
I got some other things from one Hezekiah Walker. It was the news
First of all,
of
his name is not Hezekiah Walker.
What did I say?
His name is not Hezekiah Walker.
You know, I said that in all seriousness.
I know. Like it wasn't a mistake. It was like Gordon.
Yes, I think it's because I was looking at the name Marisha Walker.
You said it so strong. Like,
it's because I was looking at the name Marisha Walker.
And then Hezekiah, that's full of
Hezekiah Gordon sent me. He kind of just, honestly, that could be, that's not even entertainment. It was like a live high speed chase. I was like, you want me to put this on DGMT? Like,
Christoph says, Bill, get that custom made one, the antivirus pro protection. That pro.
Christoph, you leave now. You go.
Say who witnessed Bill's vaccination. I don't know.
He posted on his Instagram, ma'am. He's got a picture of him getting jabbed in the arm. That's how it was publicized.
Nice. Andy says, hello, everybody. Hey, Andy.
Hello.
Andy got vaccinated. I know Andy over there in New York.
Delton, you're trying to take us back.
You're like, frankly, still
not taking it until, and then when 2023 comes, you're not taking it. That's the point we're making, Franklin. Our point is you're not taking it, period.
All right, so this is what I can post this because this what Marisha sent us.
Oh, you cropped it?
Yeah, and
okay.
I put a picture up. So someone saw this in their yard of their church and believes that the enemy is working against them with witchcraft. Now, I can say, hey,
morning,
morning. I can't say if this is not witchcraft. I won't dare say that. As we've learned in our shows to come, you don't talk nothing with nobody. You don't know. But someone said that they met some stuff tied together on their yard and believe that someone's doing witchcraft against them. And that's the picture there for those who can see it. So that's the picture that the person, for those who are on Facebook, you can see it. Those who are on radio, if you are in the construction field, you would know that this is a nail cartridge used for a nail gun. And that's the way they usually come packaged together. So I don't necessarily know if this particular instance, someone tied these together. If you use a nail gun for construction,
I mean,
you would. Yeah. That's usually how they come, and you put them in the nail gun.
Franklin has also confirmed that this is true.
So I wouldn't necessarily go as far as to say that, but however, I would not say it as well.
Okay. I've meditated on this and I've got my
screen.
response. You're gonna put the writing that was there, or should we just read it? Because you can't crop the name.
I didn't put the writing.
So
on
this
the
was the
screen.
post that accompanied it. This is the post that accompanied it. Bahamas, reach to the church. This is what we meet. Bahamas, reach to the church. This is what we meet. Nails tied together. The witchcraft wickedness is for real in this nation. That's why God moving through the land like fire to burn up the wicked.
Burn up the wicked.
Fire emoji.
Fire emojis.
On yesterday, God had me to release the 37 Psalms. Don't worry about evil doers. They shall soon be cut down. No weapon. Share.
Please share it. Share it. So yeah, so I don't know how much this is. Sorry.
I'll say this because the comments underneath were very they were divided. People were like, yeah, but then how did it get there? And somebody else say that's just how they come in the packet. Okay. I think the issue here is excessive suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything to talk about, it's kind of like being overly
How
suspicious.
far spiritual do you go?
How far spiritual do you go? Like if something appears out of place, should you go in Ilabashaya because it don't,
Something look off about it.
I feel like people who know construction knew that these are nails tied together. She didn't know that. So she acted based on her assumptions. I don't feel like she loses anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree. But I don't think she loses anything by being a bit suspicious and going Hellfire Shando. I mean, if it's not Hellfire Shando, carry on smartly. And if it is, she covered. Now,
I'm gonna take
maybe someone in the church say, "Oh, Apostle, this just from the near back," and she say, "Oh, I know they come like that."
Yeah,
and she's learned the lesson.
Yeah, so I mean, it's could just be the ignorance factor speaking.
Yeah, I know, but then I feel like if you cover yourself in ignorance, you don't lose anything.
You don't lose anything.
You just look a little bit.
When you post online
On Facebook.
Yeah, that's really the problem.
problem.
That's the culture that we have. That's where the issue comes in. When you take these things and then you publicize them. Franklin said, I dropped for one construction worker who walked through the trade yard.
My God. Maurice saying, there's a man out there looking for that nail cartridge. Mad, he can't find them right now. Honestly, based on that Facebook post, he can find exactly.
And y'all want legalize.
Oh God, how did we get here? How did we get here? Don been missing all them shows. Does Don watch Barbershop Talk?
I don't. If I get that. Yeah.
Do you really need to share that to someone that someone is working witchcraft on your church? If your church is an enemy to Satan, then isn't his attack expected?
This is true.
But Jody isn't her motivation that the witchcraft is rampant? So be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Don't take anything for granted. She just wants to raise witchcraft awareness.
Because you say share. So she wants y'all to get.
Her aim was, I want to share awareness,
and that's
on
why
this
God
issue.
is moving through the city.
Yeah. I'm done on that. I have nothing.
I have
more
nothing
to add.
to.
I have nothing more to add.
Nothing. Christoph comes. Christoph, I put your comment up.
Mind you, we have not called this woman's name.
Yeah. All I said was woman. now
Franklin say leave weed out of this. I agree.
Yeah. Because she not post stuff like this.
Don't say Bing because they're expensive.
No, they're expensive. Them nail cartridge.
They're expensive. Oh, mad.
Oh man. So anyway, that's that story. I'm feeling my hands swelling.
Delton.
This is scary.
Because you tried to lift the chair? Is this where we're at?
I didn't try to lift it. I just tried to move it to the side.
Wow.
I didn't even try to lift it. I just tried to move it over.
Anyway, our housekeeping has been a bit.
Just another day in social media. That is right there. That is
just
true.
another day
just
in social media. Christoph, honestly, if you watch what's going on, you could go a little crazy. Our main topic today, we need to take a break, Delton, because around about this time, I need my little break.
Yeah, I got you, man.
I need my little break. But when we come back, we're going to be talking about this. Real quick. We've been speaking about kind of the secular music in the house of the Lord, and how far is too far. How much should we reclaim? How much should we be taken back? And how much should we just allow to be genuinely inspired by the Spirit? I came across something. I was very quickly corrected. Let me put that in there. I was very quickly corrected. I jumped to a conclusion. My spirit was troubled. And then I did a little bit of research. It wasn't even much. And I was corrected. However, it did raise a thought that I thought, let me share with our DGMTers. DGMT is, how do we feel about
3.9 comment.
Like professing Christians, loud Christians that, people that are very open about their walk with God. They're very transparent about the fact that they love the Lord. How do you feel about these people acting in movies and playing characters that don't necessarily promote godly behaviors? Not necessarily just in the movie, but that their character has to participate in certain things that aren't necessarily in line with their faith and profession of faith. So, for example, a Christian actor, very, very loud about their Christianity, walk with God, but in a TV show, they play one loose gal. Or a Christian actor who we know is single, waiting on the Lord for his for his Eve. And he acts in a show or a movie, and he's not looking for Eve in the movie. He's not waiting for Eve in the movie. In fact, he's lying up with Lucy.
Not just ribs. You have a chicken. You get the fish.
Shelly Ann. I don't know why Shelly Ann came to my mind. That girl, Shelly Ann. That's where it came from. How we feel about that? How we feel about that? I just wanted to throw that out.
So
there.
we can talk about that after we come from the break.
We can talk about that after we come from the break.
We can take a quick commercial break.
A quick.
I just want to get this comment here from Antoine Hills, who says that boy on radio. I ain't talking about me. He said he got a face for radio.
Wow. Who's Antoine Hill?
I come for you, Antoine. However, I plan to make a trip to your place once I get COVID gone. So I can't talk with you because I can need you when I get there.
That's a real friend.
I would talk about you, mate, but I can talk with you now.
Who's Antoine?
I can let Pastor Denzel. Antoine, he talking about me. Get him while we go on commercial break, please. While we go on commercial break, you talk. So
y'all stir up your Colin Johnson the second. Good afternoon. So y'all, you could go in the chats and just ruminate. Just throwing that out there. What y'all think about it? Ain't nothing to think. I'm seeing some comments already.
They're being loose. Anyway, we'll talk about it on commercial break. Y'all stay tuned. 3.9 FM. We're going to be gone for about 30 to 45 to maybe 48 seconds.
Okay.
While we gone, though, I'm going to leave y'all with something to help y'all throughout the time.
My goodness.
While we gone. Just something for y'all to enjoy. Keep it locked. 3.9 FM.
This kind of prayer, you will be strong. You will be strong. Shabayaba kama mama kabaraba speaking tongue. We speaking tongue. We speaking tongue. Shabayaba kama mama kabaraba speaking tongue. We speaking tongue. You will be strong. I can pray with understanding.
What you doing?
You know what I'm
Where
doing.
you at?
I'm at the
Hey, you
house.
got plans?
Yes, I got plans. You know I'm going out.
We online, from the globe. It's too good to watch alone. Come to church and bring the squad.
I'll bring everybody.
He gonna be changing, rearranging. No more drifting. He an anchor, he'll sustain ya.
This kind of prayer, you will be strong. You will be strong. Shabayaba kama mama kabaraba speaking tongue. We speaking tongue. We speaking tongue. Shabayaba kama mama kabaraba speaking tongue. We speaking tongue. You will be strong. I can pray with understanding.
Yeah, I had to do it. Sorry. I had to do it, ladies and gentlemen, as we are back from our break. I think it's a quick break. Honestly, I thought I was joking. It's a quick break. It's a quick break. We speak in tongues. We invited someone to church with Pastor Mike Todd. I'll be back.
First of all, I don't appreciate that Christoph talking about my girl like that. That she must come off your screen. Us. Woo. And I want you to know at random points in the week, that administration, that selection just dropped in my spirit. There's a particular line that gets me. I can pray with understanding. I think it's because I so want to know what she says next.
Yeah,
I so want to know.
We got to find the whole song.
Honestly, I can need one of y'all internet detectives. Go find the rest.
Why
of
don't you ask one of your friends who over there in the UK?
Sis needs some lessons from Prophet Roll. Nah, no, Christoph, I don't appreciate that. British people, we slightly more conservative.
For y'all who don't know, that happened in the UK, and Fear knows where it is.
You trying to say, oh, she must be winding up her body and roll on the ground? No. She's just a bit more conservative. She knows her audience, her target audience, and she trying to keep it for them. She gone old school. Come on. She just looked at the people she was ministering to, and she realized that's what they need.
Yeah, that's how you take a secular gig and stay safe. That's how you do the best of both worlds.
The fact that he even called that a gig is my problem.
It's like what we need, man. We want you to sing a song that people know. She was like, I can't do that. However, I'm supposed to
because if I go into this,
I'm supposed to Jesus on it.
If I go into this shopping mall, we don't call them malls, we call them shopping centers. Because this is even a little outdoor situation, and I start singing "How Great Is Our God." These people don't know that.
Yeah.
And they're just singing unfamiliar music.
So bring something.
So let me capture them with the sound that they know. I think honestly, all of this back and forth we've been doing about secular music in the church, etc. Sis has exemplified for us exactly when you use it.
Oh, damn!
That's the time
for a secular gig. When you doing a secular gig,
that's exactly that.
That's the time that you bring the songs out.
Entirely justified.
Funny say about crack cock and fries. Crack cock and fries.
Entirely justified. That's all I'm saying.
So can you get like one of your friends in the UK go find out for us?
No.
Please,
they have things to do.
Please,
they have
ask somebody to go down to the shopping center.
Let's see if she's
find out where if she is there. Go on to their phone. I'll give them the code for the StreamYard, and we can interview her live on the show. And get a live performance.
If we ever.
We can get a live performance here, man. Make it happen.
I'm not going to make any promises.
Call Wanu for me. Call Wanu right now.
I know a man. I know a guy who knows a guy. I know a guy who knows a guy.
Call Wanu for me right now. Let's get Wanu on this. Like, we need this to go live to get the rest of the song. Because you want to know the rest of the words sing. So why you don't want to know it? All right?
I can pray with understanding. That line has been troubling me all week.
That being deep in the spirit.
So what's next?
Deep in the sanctified soul.
Pray with I want to know what she can say next.
So anyway, back to our topic at hand that we left talking about. We're talking about the idea of, I want to put a disclaimer out there first and foremost. These persons that claim the name of Jesus Christ, some of them are very questionable.
But then what makes them questionable? Because they go and do that? What makes them questionable?
No, I just mean their life in general. Like, just like the thing you see outside of it.
Okay, but I give you an example of someone
that's one thing. That's just one thing.
I gave an example of someone who in their private life, they're waiting for Eve. I told you.
Christ.
They waiting for Eve. They say, listen, I'm waiting for the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh, the rib, the one he kept for me until it was time. Don't mind me acting one gigolo. That's not important. Just
Donald said something before we left, and he was like, when it comes to these actors and these actresses, I guess they say that they don't call them actresses no more because that's all of them are actors. That's what I've heard recently.
Okay.
On the World Wide Web, you don't call female actresses. That's discriminating.
This is how you don't say doctresses.
Doctresses. Yeah. So they actors. Yeah. Anyway, so these persons on TV. Donald said, money gotta make.
Money haffy. He didn't say gotta.
Sorry, you're
He
lying.
say money haffy make.
He say money affy.
Okay, so money affy make.
Money affy make.
Okay.
When they have these behind the scenes of these movies, a lot of persons say is that whole idea of you watching on screen, you see this romantic moment and you feel like how they could do this, but in their minds, it's not as romantic being there as it is watching on TV.
Right.
Because there's a whole heap of people around you, and like you're all by yourself as you are at home watching this movie. So it's not the same thing. A lot of them relate to this being a part of the job. And so it doesn't affect my Christian witness in any way, shape, or form, not what I'm doing here, because I am acting. The same way as you being a drama major. Went to uni. You did a Shakespeare. You did Macbeth. What is this in my hand before me? You're not going to be a witch. You're not gonna, you played the part of Macbeth and you
Delton,
did.
that little connection. Just
You did
Very
the part of
good.
Macbeth. You just did.
Very
This is just for play.
But I want you to know, if I was doing Macbeth and they say you be a witch, I was going to tell them no. I was going to tell them no because I would hear Agatha in my head. Nana, you are a what? I want my mum to be able to come and watch that. Don't mind Jesus coming to be able to watch that. Before I get to Jesus, because yesterday Pastor Denzel told the teens, if you're about to do it and you ain't sure, invite the Holy
Bring
Ghost
Jesus here first.
to come and do it with you.
Yes,
Before I think about Jesus, I was thinking about Agatha.
Can my mommy come in here and
Can my mummy come and watch me do this?
and see you stirring the pot?
Secondly, in addition to this,
You stirring the pot, the cauldron.
okay, let me tell you where this came from. So I was seeing. Should I call his name?
Yeah, man,
Call
Johnny.
his name. So there's some. I've made it very clear on DGMT that there are certain personalities in the gospel industry that cannot do wrong in my eyes. I don't care what you tell me.
What
they get
did,
a blight
what you-
regardless.
Yeah.
The seeds that they have sown,
Kirk Franklin.
they've already reaped that. They've already reaped that fruit. Like you can't even go back and undo the harvest. It's done. I feel like they fought their good fight and they finished their race. They really just here hanging out. So people like Kirk Franklin,
Fred up.
never cancelled. Fred Hammond, never cancelled. And very recently, but now he's on the line. He's on the line, but I think that's more about my personal feelings. But one of them, he's on the docket. Let's say he's on the docket to achieve can never be cancelled status because of just the beauty of his music. It's beautiful. So I'm minding my business and transparent moment. I try not to watch too much of his videos.
The anointing
and
of his
things.
music?
I didn't say anointed. Don't put words in my mouth.
That's the question I had. The anointing of his music?
Anyway, I try not to watch too much. I don't watch his videos too often. Like videos of him like doing live performances or just speaking live, because when he told me when he was singing to Jesus and he said that Jesus should take this 6-foot lump of clay, that threw me because I was like, Jonathan, in my head you were short. Now I know you're a tall man. My view of you has already completely changed. Y'all could judge me if you like. I don't care. So that already made me feel a bit more like, oh, Jonathan, I probably shouldn't entertain too many videos. Just keep myself safe on the safe side. And a clip came up it was an advertisement of a movie that his debut in a film, a debut in a film. And in the trailer, he kissing on one woman. Now, personally, I felt affronted. I was personally displeased. But in addition, one of if you think about Jonathan McReynolds in the gospel industry, one of his characteristics, like one of the ways people know him is he's single. He talks a lot about being single and waiting on his woman and, previous lifestyles and his new life in Christ and that kind of thing. It's a very big part of his identity and his appeal. So to have that knowledge in my mind, and then I watched the movie clip. I watched the movie clip and I see him kissing on one woman. I say, no, but that don't add up. I don't like it. I don't feel right about it. First of all, Jonathan, no. Secondly, Jonathan, what? But then when I watched more of the clip, before y'all react, remember I said, I started off by saying this was triggered by an event that after I did my research was fixed. When I watched more of the clip, I think the woman was his wife or his fiance, and they didn't necessarily go all the way doing a bunch of, dirtiness. It was just a very passionate kiss. And when I watched it again, I was like, it was mediocre. It was mediocrely acted anyhow. So it was just
wasn't real.
I wasn't convinced. Like I wasn't like, oh, you know what I mean? You didn't win me over. But it did. My instinctive reaction made me feel like, actually, wait, is my issue with this that Jonathan McReynolds is renowned for being single, saved, and living for Jesus, but he's now doing things that
being loose
by my standards and by, I think, a general understanding of what it is to be single, saved, and living for Jesus. He is not necessarily portraying that in this movie. So for all of you that are like, Jesus, what is this? Not, Lord, I'm gonna whatever. Don't come for him. Because I think if you watch the movie and you put it in context, that moment isn't, overly sexual or lustful or lascivious. Is it lascivious? That word?
Something like that.
Yes. However, it did raise that question because on the other hand, I do know someone and I do love her, comedian Yvonne Orji. She was in, that's her thing. She's been waiting on her man of God. She's written books about it. She's done comedy skits about it. Like, she is not ashamed to say she's living for the Lord. In Insecure, sis was loose.
In the streets.
In the streets in like a raw way. Not in like a, okay. Like in the streets in that raw. And I was just like, how did that marry? Because I saw Insecure before I found out she was Christian. And that she was so, open about Christianity. Because it's different from the ones that get their Oscar and say, first of all, I like to thank God. I'm not talking about them.
The man upstairs.
I'm not talking about them. The big man upstairs.
The big man upstairs.
I thank the universe. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones who, it just feels like two opposing things. Now, Delton's saying it's just the job. And that's okay.
That's the job.
All right, then. What say y'all? You know me, I only come here with questions.
I think
Don't come here with no answers.
I think one of the things that it seems to be like the line of the show now, but finding your own truth.
Oh gosh!
And anything that's done outside of faith, that's into you. And it's sent
now,
to me.
That's very well and good, right? But you mentioned this before, like you said, because of the circumstances it's produced in, there's really no kind of affection or emotion attached to it. It is really just work. They can be very detached. It's uncomfortable. People are watching, blah, 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 blah. But you said it doesn't affect my witness. How do you know what affects your witness? How do you know what affects your witness? Yes, it's not sin to you and you're operating in your truth, but how do you know? Because Vera saw the clip and was triggered.
However, Vera also saw the clips outside this little film.
That's one example. Vera watched the episodes of Insecure and was confused and perplexed.
That's just a few minutes of film. It's not my life. You gotta judge me on what I'm paid to do for a few minutes.
We keep coming around to this on DGMT. Like, what is the balance between, yes, this is truth to me, and this has an impact on my witness? Like, at what point do we checkpoint your truth can still affect your witness? Like, it can still diminish your witness. As true as it is, as pure as it is, as much as you checked with the Holy Ghost before you did it, it can still impact your witness. Like, at what point do we become responsible for our witness? Or are we not? Because I don't know what people are going to receive from me. I don't know what people are thinking when they watch me.
I think
I'm operating in my truth. Like, where's the line now?
A lot of our the convictions and the way we look at spirituality is based upon where we are in the world. That's one thing.
Explain.
I remember, and with Devin being here, Devin let me remind me of this. That I remember Devin was highly upset in 2000. This is like a couple of years ago, when the Golden State Warriors won the NBA championship.
Right.
Because Steph Curry is a known believer.
Right.
Talks about Christ, talks about Jesus,
right.
Has this little time family going to church. Everybody sees that. And then when they won the championship that year, he came out there and smoking a cigar on TV, living his best life. And I thought the talk was with the witness. And unfortunately, I think a lot of things that I won't generalize the whole topic with this statement, but a lot of things that offend, I say this all the time in DGMT, it offends the believer. I don't know how much things actually offend the non-believer as much. I believe a lot of these things, they offend the believer. So the things that we say that they shouldn't do is because it's usually us who believers who say, you shouldn't do this. It's usually not the non-believer saying, I'm never going to come to Christ because they did this.
Right.
I think that's one of the aspects that I think a lot of them, that's the filter that they use. So you see Yvonne or G out there, and that's all you see. But then there's someone who watches her on Insecure, but then buys her Bamboozled by Jesus book. I think that's what the book name is, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they see this woman of God who has made her way into Hollywood, but still has her faith strong in Jesus. That's just my opinion. That's me opinated opinions. And I think a lot of the things just believers being offended. We get offended from an unbeliever.
Does that bother you?
Unbelievers out there.
Who listen
to DGMT.
Not everybody's a DGMT, huh?
Yeah, not everybody are believers. How does it offend you, unbeliever? I see Don answer. I say unbeliever, then I would try to see if Don can answer. David says, David A. Roll is there, says, those don't know, Devin A. Roll, personal friend of mine.
Y'all go what?
Way back. Sinful behavior isn't supposed to offend the non-believer. However, it does hinder their motivation to be converted.
And I think it also makes them wonder, what am I being converted to? If, you know what I mean? Convert implies a change, right? When you convert something to something else, you convert an MP3 into a WAV. They'll ask me where that comparison just came from. Or you compare a doc into you convert. There's a change, right? But if I look at something that looks like what I already do, what am I converting to? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because the line between conversion and combination, for lack of a better word, combination, which I feel like a lot of millennials, because that's what we're on here to talk about.
Yeah, that's.
This is the struggle we're having between conversion and combination, where we are trying as much as we can to blur the lines. Here we are back at the grey areas.
Back at the blurred lines.
Here we are at the grey areas, where really all things are permissible. Like everything is lawful. And honestly, whether it's expedient or not, I've not even tried to make that judgment.
It's lawful.
Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I understand. I get what you're saying about, really, it's believers that are offended. But I don't think these things, do they pull the non-believer to believing, or do they just make the believer less offensive?
I think for the non-believer, what it does is, and this is, of course, it's a stretch. I'm stretching. I'm throwing the fishing line. We going long line fishing. Long line fishing says, what happened is they see my life in Insecure. They like me as an actress. They follow me on social media. You follow me on social media, you get none of Insecure. So you see me doing this out here. You're like, I like Steph Curry. He is I was like, go back. I see Devin Dopp with this again now. I like Steph Curry, but he has smoking a cigar. I go follow him on Instagram. I don't see that Steph Curry anywhere on Instagram. I don't see that Steph Curry anywhere on Facebook. So now that I am,
that's okay.
But I mean, so we live for this. Am I taking this one moment to say that it's okay, or should I go by his life?
But for something, if you're happy and willing to do something publicly, surely that's part of your life. Now, the difference between this acting, because we moved away from the acting thing.
Yeah, because
the argument about acting is essentially that's fake anyway. That's not a life. That's not a reflection of life. The Steph Curry thing is a reflection of life. It's a choice he made as Steph Curry in that moment. The Yvonne Orji argument, and anyone like her is, well, actually, that's not real life. That's
said
fake.
Yvonne Orji people.
Huh?
You said the Orji. That's what it's correct.
Yvonne. The Yvonne situation. That's not real life. So it's easier to separate between your fake life and your real life. But your real life and your real life contradict each other, or not. I don't know. Because this really came from me seeing Jonathan kiss another woman.
Exactly.
That's where all of this came from. I want you to know I've forgiven him.
Your heart was troubled.
I'm looking forward to seeing the movie when I can get access to it. But it did. I just thought, yes, this is a good DGMT topic. The comments are good. They're good. They're juicy. Get them.
Devin says the infraction is therefore found in the violation of Psalm 1.
No, you didn't read the comment before that.
I did. The simple.
Oh yeah, you did.
We're not supposed to stand in the way of the sinner.
Delton is saying he's not. He's using that as a flag to say, "Sinner, go and look at my page."
Donald says 1 Corinthians 8:9, King James Version, old school. But take heed, lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak. Devin says Steph Curry's smoking of the cigar publicly was a horrible witness, horrible in caps lock. He possibly encouraged thousands of young believers or pre-believers to follow his bad example to the detriment of health, witness, spirituality, etc. Devin, some may say, there's nothing wrong with smoking a cigar occasionally. Have you seen me smoking a cigar since?
Now, Devin, I just want to point out the English teacher in me can't help but notice the fact that he said smoking the cigar publicly, implying that the acting in of itself isn't problematic. And we've had this issue on DGMT. Well, if it's not a problem to do privately, why can't I do it publicly?
I've had a discussion before, F.
Do you know what I mean? Oh, we're about to bust this kind of worms of open again.
Oh, no, yeah. It's time to go.
No. It's time to go. Hey, time out.
Yeah, so I mean, so Devin said a thing with it publicly, and I guess that goes to the same thing with Jonathan publicly, that actress publicly. But I mean, it's not real.
And I think for me, that's why the whole Yvonne Orji and I don't want to call him in this category because he's not. But actors that portray, he's not, because I was listening. It's fine. But that's supposed to be fake. It's supposed to not be real. Do you know what I mean? They're not necessarily promoting it. They're just depicting it. Does depicting something mean you're promoting something? You feel me?
And I guess in the sense of the movie, that particular clip, that few 3 to 4 seconds they take there, probably
mediocrely delivered.
Just pick that 4 people like you
who are going to be like, say
like,
what?
Hey, what are you doing here?
You're right, you know. I let them get me.
That said, our conduct as believers may not always be a heaven or hell issue for us personally. However, the New Testament standard is the question of, is it expedient? I think Vera says that, and that expedient thing, I'm going to get it anymore. It's just lawful. Because, and I'm throwing this out there, but I promise you, my coffee cup is empty and I don't even have the energy to get into it. So I'm really hoping that Pastor Denzel is going to call right now and shut this whole thing down. Because if you're talking about expedience, and you spoke about, you know, the detriment of the smoking of the cigar to health, witness, and spirituality, when you talk about, is it expedient? Like, again, I can't help but go back to some of the things that we eat that are detrimental to our health. Delton, they don't sponsor us. Put it down. Do you know what I mean? And like, when you talk about expedience, what is even the definition of expedience? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. As believers, we are called to be 24/7 ambassadors, ministers of reconciliation. We're never off. We're always seeking to honor God and win other souls by our witness. And I'm not even taking the time to address the Jonathan. He's not a matter. Ambassador Devon, we've already established he's not a matter. It was just the trigger for this conversation. When all was said and done, he is innocent. He's vindicated. He's been vindicated. That's our vindication. I mean, DGMT is, I threw that out there to see if it would catch. I struggle with this one. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is one of those things. One of those things that when I get to heaven, it will make sense. He never said it wasn't a problem. Which one? The publicly. Okay. But the public, of course, I'm teaching you, paid attention to the details. Yeah. Like, it stood out to me. Underlying red pen. Right. It stood out to me. So yeah. I'll go with a little quick. If you choose to smoke privately below, that's a Roll Brother spirit. Eh? Because Twin, Pastor Denzel, and Ambassador Devon, they always have that paragraph moment. We're here for it. Definitely here for it. If he chooses to smoke privately below being, it is okay. Then he has to deal with that privately when he meets his maker one-on-one. Capital X. Yeah. Capital X. Maker. Anything done in doubt is sin. He may feel it's okay personally, so we won't judge him there. However, his responsibility to guard against leading others astray or away from holiness and righteousness is the question at hand. Renee says, I think I feel the same way you do about Megan Good, Vera. Girl, you know what? I needed another example. Struggling. Is Megan still out there in these streets, though? Since she got married to Rev, is she still out there? I try to remember because you're not wrong. I think since she married Rev, she's been left. Yeah, I try to remember. I will concede to that. I can't remember any movie she has done since I remember her marrying Pastor Devin Franklin. Has she been out there in the streets? I don't think she has. She was before. I don't think she has. I think you're right. Oh, Jody say she sure is. Where? Oh, sorry, Jody. All right, so nah, and I believe Jody. If Jody says she is, I believe. I was trying to remember if I thought like after she got married, I haven't seen her in much movies after that. Oh, check her Insta. Oh boy, no, I ain't that released just for my safety. Just for my sake.
He's a smart guy.
I ain't checking Insta. I remember that. Yeah.
That's another good example. I again, I only come in with questions.
Stephanie say Megan still on in these streets.
And the thing is, like, how do we feel about that? How do we feel about that?
How does her husband feel about that?
Because her husband found a gesso. If he had a feeling about that, I'd be concerned about him because you didn't find it any different than that. You found them married a gesso.
Never say watch the preview of Megan's last movie. Say no, don't watch it. Just watch the trailer. It's like just watch. Say second thought. Don't watch that. Just watch the trailer of it.
But I guess as believers, right, we stand in judgment. And Delton, we talked about the offense of the believer is unimportant. It's the impact that these things have on the non-believer. Mm-hmm. How do we as believers even judge that? We need to do a survey of non-believers. I think that's a good way to find out all these things that we say, okay, it's not expedient. Is it damaging the witness? We don't have any ability to tell because we already believe, like, to judge how much of a damage to someone's witness it is, because Delton mentioned something important. Context makes the difference. I'll tell you a story of a friend of mine who joined a very popular church worldwide, global ministry. She joined, and like in the early stages of her joining, they had a youth retreat. So she went to this youth retreat. She said they went in worship. The word was powerful. Then after the service, they had like an after party. They did not play Christian music at this after party. Oh, yeah. They had alcohol available at this at this after party, and it was all Christians, and it was all okay. Like, she just looked around like, this is what y'all do, and it was normal. And it was one of those things that she just realized she stepped into a different culture.
Yeah.
And Delton mentioned this earlier, like a lot of the perceptions of an act, be it being detrimental to witness, oftentimes depends on the context that it's found in. Like, y'all like to crack jokes about Africans and how they cuss, or Africans and how we like shake up our waist in church. Contextually, no one cussed. Contextually, what is shaking up? I'm giving God glory. In fact, this is Testimony Sunday. I was just walking up to tell him how good he's been.
Come and see.
So come and see. So it's kind of like context, and there are a lot of people would say argue are controversial scriptures, even in the New Testament, and the argument is always on context. No, Paul was writing to a particular set of people.
Yeah.
Therefore, his emphasis was on a particular practice, a particular behavior, because of the aspect of that of a particular aspect of that culture. Do we then apply the same to now? Because I know that there are certain cultures and contexts where their lines are generally just a little bit more blurry. They're a little more loose, and everybody in that context seems to be okay with it. So me as an outsider looking in, don't mind that we're all in part of the same body of Christ, we're all part of the same family of God. That doesn't really matter. They're in a different context, and I shouldn't necessarily judge. Is that what we're saying? This is one of them DGMTs. I'm going to leave even more confused than I came.
Let's be on there, like,
more confused than I came.
Donald, come here with this dumb joke. Say Megan is obviously not that good. Quotation marks. I thought you were gonna say Megan Good rather than Yvonne Orgy when you started, actually, and disagreed.
Megan Good is someone I entirely don't follow, so she wouldn't have even come into my head. I forgot she was a person.
Wow.
Like, she doesn't come into my at all. So yeah.
Julian says her husband defends her.
Always. And if my husband doesn't defend me, what you being my husband for?
Good job, bro.
Nah, oh my gosh, Delton. Oh, I lost it because that was hilarious.
What's that?
It was a video someone sent me, and it says, when you've gone out, had a good night, you're drunk, but really you're churchy. Because these two drunk gals was like doing a praise break, coming out of a restaurant, scantily clad, and they were going for, what was the song? He's a burden bearer. He's a load sharer.
I did see it.
Going in, and they were doing the shout dance. They were going to get it.
They were on their way.
Drunk.
Church next one.
Drunk.
Get churchy, but
bad.
The pastor says, I don't comment after the ambassador. Do well, beloved. Donation says Megan did a movie in 2019. If I recall, had a raunchy scene. She called it raunchy. Wow. Anyway, I'll leave Megan alone. Alton is here. Right Honorable Moss says, really now. So the guys in the club shaking up to say to say how happy they are for payday, don't judge them. Say don't judge the guys. They happy it's payday. They happy a little Friday situation.
Burden bearer, load sharer. Heavy load sharer. I wish I had that video. That was funny to me.
Remember, Pastor Denzel was he came to me now privately to bring a topic to us that we said we was going to talk about.
Which one?
But the pastor, who you thought was somebody else.
He put that into chat about?
No, he put that inside my private things now. Pastor Denzel,
someone sent that to me and I was scared. I don't want to touch that.
Yeah, we came together.
We came together and we decided really good. And I'm not gonna lie, on DGMT, we don't leave many things alone, you know.
Yeah, but that one we left.
We don't leave many
I ain't getting
things alone. Delton more scary than me. I want the record to reflect. Couple things I'll be like, Delton, let's get it. Delton be like, I'm not getting into it.
And that right
Mind you, there was one thing I said, Delton, we need to get. Thank God for Pastor Aquino and Pastor Denzel on one-on-one on Monday, because they got it.
Oh.
The one about the payment. Being on payment plan to receive a word from the Lord.
They get a good job.
Of course. It's one-on-one. Y'all haven't helped me, but okay.
So Dwayne says, thank God for Jody. Me get on to Facebook on my radio. I was really confused to this orgy. Which y'all being saying.
I'm saying Yvonne orgy.
That's why I tell her say Yvonne.
Yvonne orgy.
Yvonne is saying a Nigerian. She's an Igbo girl. Comedic actor,
Yeah.
And she's professed Christianity.
I mean, she wrote a book about Jesus.
Yeah, she's strong, but that Christianity. There's a whole book on it.
And then there was another one. One of her besties wrote a book, all Jesus. And then she did a live and she was cussing. I was like, I'm so confused. I can't understand this.
But then once again,
saved,
what is the cussing?
Matter.
What is the cussing?
Ugh.
Who came up with the cussing? Devin says, my last contribution is the body of Christ needs a serious study on the distinction of righteousness and holiness. A study on the purpose and benefits of both is needed, whereas righteousness through Christ empowers us to go to heaven. Holiness and lifestyle empowers us to bring heaven to earth. Holiness is a must. We are going to move in supernatural empowerment and have effective witness while here on the planet. We too often abuse the gift grace of righteousness, I think is what it said. It got cut off on the stream, y'all. I can go down to my Facebook so I can see the rest of it. Your hand is up. Vera, you have a question?
No, my hand is up because I was receiving that. Heavy.
That's the question.
And I wanted it to be high because I wanted it to be above the paragraph.
I wanted to see if there was more that I am.
I mean, when we did that whole gray area series, which there's really never ended.
Yeah, no.
One of the conclusions was like, if it's gray, leave it alone.
That's the best way.
If it's gray, leave it alone.
If you aren't sure, there could be a possibility.
I don't know. I don't think aren't sure is the
right
I say
like
word.
There's a possibility where you like.
But they sure.
They
know it's gray, but they sure. They're sure because in their righteousness, in their truth, they're sure about it. Now, to y'all, it's great. I don't care about y'all.
Yeah.
To me,
that's okay.
Safe, but we all appreciate it's great.
Devin's last comment was, we too often abuse the gift/grace of righteousness and use it as a justification not to live holy here on earth. #bye. That's better than show up on the stream. Yeah, #bye.
Thank you very much, Ambassador.
Hey, Dawn is here. Dawn, you're laughing. Dawn Williams, not Dawn Rose.
Why Dawn laughing?
I think that's a reference to, I think, Dwayne his statement about RG. He found RG.
Oh, sorry.
So I say they have a podcast called Jesus and Jollof.
I listen to it regularly.
Who's that? Yvonne and who?
Yvonne and Lovey Jones.
Okay, all right, cool. So I say they be leaving them confused as well. But to them, it's cool. And obviously, people like y'all still listen to them. So for them, it must be cool. People still listen to us.
You know, sometimes after DGMT, my heart be heavy. You know how I have that sometimes. Today's one of those days.
Heart be heavy. So I probably should bring my next thing I'm going to close on. All right,
close, Delta.
Close. At
this point, I done hit rock bottom.
So that's one of the. I think there's this. Most times we talk about the topics. He sent something in regards to it, but not actually it itself.
No, he sent me something else too.
Okay. And we didn't get a chance to even send condolences to the family of the student at GHS. Tragically lost their life on, I think that was Tuesday. either Tuesday or Monday. And so we continue to pray for the family and the school of GHS, the entire family there. I know Pastor Dennis was there on yesterday, yeah, at least there yesterday. And the time they had a time of prayer and assembly for the 11th grade and those who were directly affected by the death of the student. It was a good time. It was an awesome service, awesome assembly on yesterday at Government High. But there was so I'll bring this up as we leave. Someone made a comment. Of course, for those who watched it live when the event actually happened on the news stations, Eyewitness News and the Eyewitness and all those who were out there live, some very weird things were said by Bahamians.
Were they weird?
They weren't weird, but they were very crazy to say. I don't think anybody was shocked by them being said.
Exactly. That's all I wanted you to say.
But however,
We ain't shocked.
we were shocked that they were still said. You know, when you expect someone to say something, but you didn't expect them to say it when they said it. It's like, I know.
Okay, yeah.
I know you would say
this is
this.
not the right time and place.
Yeah.
At least you should know that this is not the right
Because
time
I heard
and place.
people talking about the government during the time of the incident, that minute should ring the bell because it's time for election. How is that now relevant and tied to a student that has lost their life
Right.
in the middle on a school campus during school hours? I'm very lost and confused about how is it. And I've heard people talking about the Ministry of Education and how they need to go because this kind of thing shouldn't happen and police need to be on campus. And I was there, first of all, very confused as to how will police on campus solve any of this.
And
Coming
we
from
put police
someone,
on every campus?
coming from somebody, when I graduated in 2003, police stayed on my campus at R&B. When I say stayed, I mean stayed in my. I think this is even before the whole fully introduction of that whole police on campus, because of my school. School wasn't really a strong, like, quiet community. That it was slow on the violent side. In my area of R&B at the time, we were known for some violence and some criminal offenders. So police stayed on my school campus. That did not stop the violence.
Right.
Because whoever the police is, I just go to the next side and do what I want to do.
And y'all here every day. Very predictable.
Y'all here every day. I know where y'all gonna be. Y'all be sitting down security booth with secure. Y'all be talking, laughing, having a way of a time.
Because
Every
we
couple
give you
minutes.
3 down days.
Every couple minutes you can walk around. And then we knew lunchtime, every night again, we had a basketball game during lunchtime inside our gym. When the game was over, we know the police is coming to do check on bags as you walk out the gym. This is normal occurrence.
Wow, this is normal.
I mean, at the time. However, that stopped nothing. That stopped absolutely. That's just me just doing a little rant on the situation. That stopped absolutely nothing from happening in school. I've heard people talking about you should put metal detectors in the school. That stops nothing from happening.
That's like, for me as an educator, that is heartbreaking for me. Like the concept of that being the solution. And I get that it's necessary in some circumstances to keep our children safe.
Yeah.
But we failed so, like, the failure is
missed the point so far.
removed for us to get to the point where we need metal detectors and police on a school campus.
I said this.
Oh,
And Pastor says, they mentioned the barbershop talk. I think I told my coworker this. Unless you are prepared to build 20-foot walls around the entire campus
Right.
of every school, you will not stop weapons from getting on campus.
Right.
Impossible.
Right.
Pastor Denson brought something I didn't know people were doing. They're now using the religion aspect
I
of
heard
it.
that.
And
I was like,
that was new to me. That person wearing turbans and saying that they are Rastafarian or Muslim and bringing weapons in under their turbans, so forth and so forth. That was new. That was different. Growing up in my
fun fact, at the airport, they're going to make you take that off to search you.
oh yeah.
Regardless of ability,
Regardless
you
of
can request
belief.
to go into a private room.
Yeah. So you don't be public, but no,
Yeah.
that's gonna come off.
That's coming off.
And for us, I think for the children, that's gonna have to come off.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
anyway, how she's got, like, during our time, I was a good guy in school. I say this on public radio now. It's fine. Nothing happened to me. I can't go to jail. During the time of my life in R&B, I was the smart guy. I was the one. First of all, I had some excellent brothers who went ahead of me
My gosh.
8, 9, 10 years ago.
So you're right.
So before I got there,
No, not 8, 9, 10 years ago.
It was.
It
So
was.
the senior master at R and Bailey taught my brothers and CH Reeves. They knew my family. Lou was the chairman for the PTA all throughout my junior high school. They know the Roll family, a good Christian family. So therefore, when we had them bag searches during the school time, they would put their knives and their weapons in my bag because they know once the police come, I'm a prefect. Roll, you come, you go through. And I walk through Boston's police. My bag.
Delton, you
full of
was
weapons.
you was a conspirator.
I was, but
you were aiding and abetting.
Aiding and abetting, keeping and protecting. So, like this time, so people who are going to be violent, they're going to be violent. People who want to get weapons, they're going to get weapons. So the problem really is some parents. But we don't want to have that discussion.
I was going to say we don't come on DGMT to judge, but that's exactly what we do on DGMT.
So we judge.
Go ahead.
Well, we're just going to be judicious in our judgment.
Devon's got the eyes, but he said bye.
Yeah. So at the time that Rev, Mr. Amala was the senior master at R&B. Mr. Amala, y'all know Amala from a long time. So Mr. Amala was cool with me. Roll.
Delton, these are my confessions.
Don't say shit. Yeah, that's back in the
Delton's
day.
getting it all off his chest.
But anyway, so the good students usually coming for the bad students.
Dwayne say, wait, what? You tarnished my good? I built a reputation for you.
I mean, but hey, no one knew this until now. It's fine. But here's one of the things.
It's just the fact that all the brothers are connected. Like, all the brothers are on today.
Yeah.
I don't know if you picked the right day to
probably
confess
wrong
or the wrong day to confess.
And Luria. So this idea of violence is you all have any instances of that in the UK? Of these kind of like these violent acts, weapons in school?
I mean, yes, there were some places. I didn't go to a school that was like that bad.
That's true. Yeah, probably in the deep. Y'all call y'all have ghettos? Y'all call them ghettos? What y'all call them?
Inner city.
I
think when I was in like grade 8, 7 and 8, the most senior grades, they probably were like drug dealers, knife carriers, weed on the bus smokers. That's it. But once they graduated, we were our worst thing was fireworks being let off in school.
That's
the worst.
That's your bad days. They're being bad.
Yeah. So there you can get. Yeah. There were some generations, some season, and then there are some schools that have that as their reality to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel like maybe it's a bit worse here in isolated incidents.
So someone tried to answer why is it worse? And then this is how we can close in the last 4 minutes.
Very good. That's a very smooth connection.
Just
10 out of 10.
Just to get as a reason why, as you should not say.
Hold on. That's how you spell the man name? Oembla?
Yeah, Umbla.
What kind of... Where's that name from?
I have no clue.
It's cool though.
I had nobody to be able to question it because he didn't question it.
I feel like that's something of Vikings. That kind of OM. Like it just...
As Vitzerk?
Yeah, it's got that combination of letters that feels...
That shouldn't go together.
Renice apparently knows Mr. Umbla too.
Oh, yeah, there's some amazing gentleman.
He's still in the business of
I
education.
don't know, He probably is. Because he was athletic too, so he used to do like Dwayne said, he was teaching pole vault. So he was athletics, he used to teach science, I think, at one point. Then he went to administration. So yeah. But anyway, someone decided to sum up the thing of what's happening in the schools. Here's what they say the solution to this, to the violence in school, to the criminal nature in school.
You realize this is half an hour of conversation.
No, it ain't. Let's be a strong couple minutes. The solution to this is there are way too many Haitian children, and this is a quote for those who just tuning in and just randomly hear me saying this. I'm going to say Delton said.
Oh, he's a principal now, Donnie says. Well, look at that.
What? Shout out to Mr. Umbla. So the person said, the solution to this is there are way too many Haitian children enrolled in our government system that we are paying for, that do not have proper status in our country, that are allowed in our government schools, that us tax-paying Bahamians are paying for. Bahamian children need to have the proper education before any other. This is why I say this conversation that long. This goes back to what I said when the live video was on. How do y'all make these connections?
No, I get the connection.
No, you don't.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I think the connection is. Now, of course, you know my position on this is unchanging.
Yeah.
And my position on this issue is very contrary to what a lot of Bahamians think and feel. And I'm okay with that. I'm not Bahamian. The position is the quality of schools, that we have schools where, this kind of culture can be promoted and this kind of dangerous activity can take place, is to do maybe with the quality of schools and provision in schools. Now, the provision in schools, or the standard of provision in schools, is affected by how many children are in the school. Because you think of teacher to student ratio, you think of the facilities, how many children are in a class. If you unenrolled all the Haitian students, this person, I believe, is arguing, you would have less students in school and better facilities for the students in school, because the money that is spent per child would increase because there's less kids in the school. That's the logic, I believe, is behind this. Maybe I'm giving this commenter, who I believe is an absolute...
Continue.
Gonna leave it alone.
All right. I'm saying, like, you are giving a high amount of credence to this conversation.
I'm not giving them credence, but I believe that's the logic. I believe that could
That
only
should
be the
be.
logic that is behind saying just take all the Haitian children out of school because that's going to fix our problem. You mean we'd be able to spend more money per child on Bahamian students? Because, okay, y'all know I'm studying now, and literally this week I just dealt with this. Like, this week we did immigration as a social issue. And my eyes have been, not been open, but I guess reading on it and hearing statistics. And these, this issue of immigration is not unique to the Bahamas. It's everywhere. And the idea that whatever resources are pumped into education, immigration puts a strain on that, puts a strain on the resources. And so once the resources are strained, then provision for all children is impacted and affected. And so my educated brain filtered that comment. I'm not saying anything else.
No, I want to rest.
There's no rest.
I want to rest from you.
But is the person wrong? Is the person wrong to say children without proper status in the country should not be in our schools? So where are they supposed to go? She's saying they need to go home, eh? That their education needs to be their country's problem.
Right.
You see, what Auntie doesn't realize is that's a human right that those children get wherever they go. Doesn't matter how they get there. That's a human right that children get wherever they go, and it doesn't matter how they get there. The Bahamas is obligated to provide education, basic education, and the same standard of education as they provide other citizens with. Now, that's where people's personal views on immigration come in. So people would say, send undocumented, send undocumented children, their families, back to where they are from, so that they're not our problem. So we don't have to cater to this basic human right. They don't. I just did that and my hand hit that right. I'm not. So in terms of like facts and figures, her comment makes sense. In terms of facts and figures, her comments make sense. In terms of basic humanity.
So, in terms of in lieu of the incident that happened,
I was going to say it in another language. That's how you know.
You're going to say
I'm riled up.
I don't think we ever had a discussion of illegal immigration on our show. That usually left for the Bob talk and stuff like that.
Because I think we mentioned it once. Julie's saying, let's get some of these comments in, because my words are starting to leave me.
The English words?
For several reasons. We've gone past the 2-hour mark, and so I'm flagging.
Yeah, all right. So Julianne says
the issue of immigration always gets me a bit aggy. It just gets me a bit fired up and angry.
Let's get to the comments. Everyone deserves a right to education. This is said by Dawn Williams. It was the same numbers back then in the classroom, so nothing has changed in terms of the numbers. Some may argue that, Dawn. Some may say it's a lot more in terms of percentages now, Haitian to Bahamian in the classrooms. The answer is parent your children. Raise respectful, sensible human beings. It's not a school lacking law enforcement or immigration problem. It is y'all are not parenting your children, says by Julianne Roll. Julianne also says those who can't conduct themselves accordingly, separate them and send them to reform schools. I think they have tried that. I know for our days they tried the whole reform school, the Shaw. I think for boys. How good it was, how effective was it? I don't really know. But anyway, we can talk about this next time on the show. when Vera get the comments together, and she can say them in English language, and not.
I agree with Julie though.
And not offend anybody.
I agree with Julie.
Oh no, definitely. I believe.
I don't think this incident or like incidents are to do with school resources.
No, that's why I say like you use a lot more credence that comment.
No, I was trying to get the logic
Trying to get that
behind
logic?
the comment. The logic behind the comment. Because anyway, I can't. It's too late.
It's too late. We've come way over our time.
But Julie is saying parent your children. The challenge is, and I didn't really follow this news story because I couldn't. I found that too difficult to deal with personally. I just kind of didn't engage with it too much. That the young man was I saw a status about how many of us felt pain at hearing a 15-year-old boy had been stabbed in high school. How many of our reactions changed when we heard that he was Haitian, when we heard his name and realized that he was Haitian. This is one of the problems in our nation. And I thought that's gonna speak to a lot of people because reactions changing. It's just instinctive. You didn't plan that, but your kind of your biases that are so ingrained in who you are can impact how you see things. Now, someone was talking to me today, and they were like, the boys, the stabbing was done by a Haitian gang. I was like, the race of the gang. But the ethnicity of the gang, or the
not necessarily
background is not really different. But then some people would say, well, if you're saying this is a parenting issue, in this instance, it kind of provides a platform for people who already have xenophobic attitudes to argue their case. You understand?
True.
So I'm not saying people are right. I find it disgusting, but
I mean,
these are some of the things people say.
There is a disconnect because even if it comes to parenting, there's still even a disconnect for some of the children. For parenting, for a lot of them, some may not even have parents. We say it's parenting, and that number of children, especially in the public school system, who don't even have a parent,
right,
is very high.
And I mean, I'm a first gen British African.
Mm-hmm.
My mother she migrated to the UK. When you talk about the parenting of immigrant children, your parents are just trying to survive. Like their parenting of you, like they choose parenting, they try and make a choice. The reality for so many people is that they make a choice between being there all the time for you. When you come home, make sure you've got food on the table. When you come home, make sure they watch over and make sure you do your homework. And then the choice between that and making sure that there's a roof over your head. You know, doing whatever they have to do to make the ends meet, working however many jobs they have to do. Very few times do you hear of the stories of immigrant parents sitting at home with their arms crossed while their children are out doing whatever they're doing. Yeah. There's a level of disadvantage that you have when you are an immigrant, even more so an illegal immigrant. Yeah. That means that the quality of your parenting is impacted by so many other factors. But that's a different story for another day, for another show.
Will we ever get to that?
What do you mean?
That kind of thought position? I don't know. we may
it
not. It
depends how you all act this week. Yeah. If you all act up, who knows? I mean, what do I think about the comment? I think it's asinine.
It is.
I think it's asinine. I just feel like some things you don't type.
And especially...
Christoph said this earlier. Social media, boy. Social media. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
Let me get these last two comments and then as we get ready to leave, as we make our departure.
Can you believe a DGMT fan told me last week that we's beyond too short? I couldn't believe it.
Lost minds.
I could not believe it.
Lost of minds.
Couldn't believe it. They round me. So y'all leave too quick. I was like, I'm sure it was over 2 hours. Like, I'm for sure.
Julia says you don't have to be a blood biological relative to the parent. Every child should have someone to point them in the right direction. Hopefully.
And the flip side, Julie, is in a situation like that, it becomes the teacher's responsibility. But when the teacher has 40 kids,
instead of 20.
So it is a vicious cycle. There is
some can always connect.
There's always overlapping issues.
Parents sometimes prohibit that move based on denial of their child's behavior. Also, let's also keep in mind with kids with bad behavior, in order to be sent to reform school, they must have an extensive track record or criminal offense at school in order to be selected to attend. So you don't just do one thing and then they're gone. So they just do one thing. All right, that's a one-off. 2 things, okay. It's 2 off. 3 things.
And then, of course, it's the level of infringement.
Yeah.
Like that 2 off, you just got detention for them 2 things.
Then suspension. Then after a few suspensions, okay, all right. Like maybe you probably don't belong here. Christoph agreeing with you. That's just what it is. It's
You
that
just
social
missed a
media.
comment from Julie.
I did?
Didn't read that.
We have community. They just need to be effective.
But then you don't like people coming in and helping you discipline your children.
That's a whole other topic for another day.
It's a community.
Don't touch
Don't get
my
involved
child.
in touching my child. You told my child off. So it's community,
How
but
dare you-
it is
how dare you?
community.
Stephanie said, long ago it took a village, but now no one can correct anyone else's
Thank you,
child.
Stephanie. I didn't even see that
or
comment
it'll
before I said it.
be a problem, which is correct.
That's why I said it.
Yeah,
But
that's
then,
correct.
that child has 75 godparents.
Oh, 75 of your close best personal friends. I'll stand up there matched in
You
their
all know I use any excuse
in
to
their
throw that in there.
in their linen suit and clocks, ready to go, and they pretty hairstyle taking pictures, but they don't have no village. Anyway, we digress. Stephanie, Brazil Mondelez agreed. That's from Mose Davil.
Mose, when I catch your child hip, I don't want to hear nothing from you. All these people on here saying you can't. When Miss Vera come for your child, I don't want to hear from you. Y'all have to be. If we believe in community, we have to believe in community now.
Exactly,
We
Stephanie.
have to believe in community.
You let me see Zion around my
I
son again.
wouldn't rouse Zion, but that's because not because of Stephanie, but because the culture is generally you don't talk to people during.
You
don't correct people
Stephanie,
during.
let me see your child around my son again. You let me see Zion around Dallas again.
Do you know what I mean? No, and I mean like I'm just thinking about the fact that I probably feel now if I was in an African setting, I would not fear anybody's child. I don't. If I teach an African child in my class and I've never met their
Even
parents,
now?
by sheer fact of the fact that you are African,
Go for it.
100% automatically gives me permission.
Even now.
Because community has not yet become unfashionable in Africa. We're still about that life.
So actually,
We're still about that. If
you waited for the chance to spell
if
that.
you had to be told by Miss Wilson, and then I had to find out that you had to be told by Miss Wilson, you're getting an extra.
I never when I go to Miss Wilson.
Yeah, no, especially in the UK, as I say, first and second generation immigrant children, African immigrant children. If I was teaching, and I know it's an African child, and the white child do the same thing as an African child, you getting it worse. You getting it worse.
And then when the parents go to school and find Miss
I
Wilson from Ghana,
dare you to tell Miss on where Chuku, I row you bad. I dare you tell her.
and then come to Wilson find Wilson from Ghana. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I would put my accent on when she calls me.
Hello.
Good afternoon, who's speaking? Miss Wilson, this is Miss Mr. Wechuku. I've been waiting for your call.
But the Christian picture looks so coordinated. Of course, they must be. Shauna said these godparents that have no God factor. Oh boy.
Oh,
You're
Julie.
choosing violence. Moses says, "Get him out of here." They beat him.
Okay.
Stephanie's like,
I have many witnesses. Cut Zion
Julian say whaley tail, not whale.
I've been told by
whaley tail.
some young people that they worried for my own children because I don't play. I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't play. But so Mopi, I've made a note of that. Stephanie, I've made a note of that. I don't resolve to cutting hip. I think I have the psychological punishment spirit. I don't resolve to cutting hip. I didn't receive many cut hips in my lifetime.
Not many.
So that's not my instinctive
No,
response.
because the few that you got, you remember.
Oh yeah,
So
two times.
You didn't have to get
When
many.
the phone hit me in my mouth, and when a hand clapped me around my face, it was twice.
Yeah.
For my entire 31 years of living.
So you
two
remember?
times.
Yeah, you don't need much one.
That's all I need.
Yeah, that's a good two. That's a strong two. Yes, that's strong two.
Memorable two. I don't remember much about my life, but I remember them.
Christoph says most godparents only there to give a quick Wendy's meal or just in line if they live out west.
But Christoph, I don't blame the godparent. I blame the parent that chose that parent. I blame I blame parents who choose godparents that don't have anything to offer. That really baffles me. It's a personal problem I have. It's a pet peeve that I hold.
Pet peeve.
It's a personal problem.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
Julia says, "Child, you don't see something till primary school graduation."
I was so proud of Julie when
primary
Julie
school.
told me go pick up her goddy yesterday.
Oh God, child.
Her godchild, because she's the
Goddy
goddy.
baby.
I'm still trying to get it. That's goddy baby.
Goddy baby, yeah.
When she told me to go pick up her godchild to take him to the teen worship event, and when I asked him how old he is, she was like, he's in grade 10. I was like, Julie, go ahead. Go ahead. You done stick it out with that young man.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. And Julie, I said it earlier on, I don't think you were here. be proud of that young man. He blessed my heart. So respectful. Very, very respectful.
As a child born of Haitian parents, from you have to complain to my mommy about me, that's double trouble.
And I was gonna like African children. You take, and I think Haitians are African. As far as I'm concerned, nations are African. I would be stupid to go and tell my mum what the teacher did to me.
In which lifetime?
I don't care how unfair it is. There's no planet on which Agatha was coming to the school to attack a teacher on.
For your behalf.
Oh my goodness. There was no planet. And my mum was conservative. She wasn't even wild like that.
There's one instance where Laura told us to tell the teacher. We could tell on the teacher. It's very weird. However, it was true. We could have reported a teacher if we had to go to the bathroom. She told us no.
Wow.
She was like, you get out, walk out, go to the bathroom. If there's a problem, you call me. Don't make my child not go to the bathroom because you don't want him to go to the bathroom or I think he's lying and how to go to the bathroom.
Oh, Laura, I'm that teacher.
That one
Miss
level of the
Wilson,
bathroom?
can I go? No. My instinctive response is always no. Always. And then after a minute or two, if they ask me again, I let them go.
Yeah. So
because it tells, like, just there's a young man in my class, literally, we just had this conversation on Friday, and the whole class agreed with me because he'll get up and start walking towards the door. Then he'll say, Miss Wilson, can I go to the bathroom? So yesterday he did it again. And I was like, you realize you've already halfway out before you ask my permission. And I said, you guys realize he does that every time? And I was like, yeah, you really do. You always want to be out. Like, oh,
come on, classmates.
So he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he sat down. Did not ask me again. Then I really needed to go to the bathroom. And I was about to jet. I was like, oh, a bit mean if I go. And I didn't let him go. So I said, you realize I would have let you go if you had just asked me permission again. He was like, oh, okay. Didn't ask me permission. You did not need to go to the bathroom. Yeah, no, you wanted to go for strollies and walkies. So Miss Laura,
stretchy leg.
I would have had that conversation with Miss Laura.
First of all, you gotta know who our parents are. So he's not supposed to go walk around.
Because you always need to pee during my lesson, and my lesson's always after break time and lunchtime. What were you doing?
She's drinking water during break time lunchtime. So now you have to go. Anyway, Christoph says, Christoph say I haven't seen my godparents since my christening. That's my friend.
Therein lies the problem.
I lie. I'm not necessarily a good go see my godchildren, but I am a good pray for my godchildren.
I mean, when I accept the role of godparent, I make it very clear what I have to offer.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily a good.
For your child, I will pray. For your child, I will babysit. For your child, I can tell you what I got.
Yeah.
I can tell you what I got before I tell you yes.
Come by or like if I have some money, I'll send some money. If I don't have some money, I can't send no money. But what I will do though, I have a very unique set of skills.
I love it.
A very unique set of skills.
Why that child can be covered?
That child, listen
covered.
Listen to me, buddy.
They had about 20 other goddies. We can't all be the ones to buy them gifts. Come on, man. Let's diversify.
We just said yes, community meetings are very effective. Community meetings are very effective.
And that's another conversation. Like, to the people that were on Facebook in the comments shouting, where are the parents? The parents aren't parenting. Are you part of a community? Like, is there a child in your vicinity under your influence that you haven't necessarily invested in? Like a godparent. Like, I feel like everyone's got to look inwardly and reflect. Like, everyone's got children around them. And if we know that this is a particular crisis, we're in a crisis time, we have to all put our hands to the plow.
Lisa said I used to say no to bathrooms, but since COVID, buddy, go make sure I wash it.
So Anissa, I can take that one off. For me, it's a reflex, because 9 times out of 10, I really don't care if you go to the bathroom. Like, how does that impact my life?
Just automatically say no.
I just automatically say no.
Like, please? Oh, all right then.
And it's the same kids that's be going. However, Vera, you know how your bladder goes, so you should know.
Should be judgy.
Some people just need to go
just
more often.
Go.
I can recalibrate my reflexes.
Yeah, anyway, so I say, look at prayer, baby, said come and clutch. That's what you offer. Says, hey, that's why I'm a guinea. Let's speak to welcome to DGMT. As we get ready to go. Anyway, folks, it's been a wonderful 2 hours and 28 minutes and 34 seconds.
Oh my goodness.
It's like so much for tuning in to those who stayed all this time. It was one of those days
where we came and we said we had nothing to talk about.
Yeah. And
how does this happen?
Look at God.
That's why this is really DGMT with Delton, Vera, and y'all.
Y'all made the show happen.
Delton, Vera, and y'all. We need to change our little...
Y'all the hosts. And they put a picture on a Facebook logo. Puts a picture.
Picture of everybody.
Everybody, man. Y'all make the show happen. So thank you for all of our...
a little Zoom call. screenshot new display picture.
All our commenters, our sharers, we thank all of you for being part of that.
Like.
You all have been amazing. Keep the show going. Thanks to all the road brothers and the road family that was here today.
We said that we were going to give our special our VIP commencer. I think our VIP commencer today is Ambassador Devon Rose.
VIP
top
VIP.
Top commencer. So please, Ambassador Devon Rose, see Delton about your prize for being today's VIP commencer.
What we have for you
so
today,
much.
sir, is about 6 of these fine chips, these ginger snaps, courtesy of a company that does not sponsor the show.
Cover the branding.
Good.
But Ambassador
But you
Devon,
can have, sir,
those ginger snaps.
These are
come in
yours.
clutch.
and they're very crunchy.
Very crunchy.
Not stale at all.
If you come now.
Yeah, but tomorrow.
If you come now. First, we can't guarantee that they'll be crunchy tomorrow, and we can't guarantee that there'll be any left tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you are the MVP.
MVP of the show,
no,
sir.
did we say MVC? The MVC,
most valuable
most valuable commencer.
So
for
today. Look at these last two. Regis says the young man who was killed had a very strong community around him. I know for a fact many of his neighbors were hollering when they found out it was him that died. Just an FYI. Yeah.
But I think it's not. I think the community is for the ones who did it, not him, not the victim. The ones who are, what's the word? Deviant.
Yeah.
That I think the suggestion of community is for those who are deviant, those who are straying.
Yeah.
Of course, it's always 9 times out of 10. Oh, no, actually, let me not say that.
No,
I was going to say the victims are always those that have. No, that's not true.
Not the case.
But yeah, no, in this case, it's a matter of the perpetrators have not learned how to act right. Oh, they have. They've made some choices.
And they chose violence.
They chose
They chose violence.
violence.
So anyway, y'all be safe, man. I'll have a great weekend. Make sure you find yourself in the house of God with some like-minded believers this week. If you are a Sabbath worshiper, you're probably not watching this, or you're watching this after church on today. That would say he'd like to thank the Academy.
Before you thank God, this just how it starts.
See that?
It's just how
You don't even thank the man
you're
upstairs.
supposed to go. First of all, I'd like to
Giving honor.
Giving honor. No. That's a churchy.
No, to the man upstairs.
To the man-
Give honor to the man upstairs. Like, bro, who's this man upstairs? Is he landlord?
The guy producing the show. Like,
who's the man upstairs? Anyway,
you know, after a play or after the orchestra perform, they look up and they point to the people that do the lighting.
say thank you to all of you people up there. Anyway, so y'all be safe, man. If for those who don't have a church home to go to, you can go visit an Ambassador Devon at KDC right there in the Honda Plaza.
He's making like the others. Well, there you go. There you go. He wants to thank the Academy. Period.
Ambassador's there in the Honda Plaza. That is, I don't know if that's actually named the Honda Plaza, but that's where Honda used to be.
It's called Honda Plaza.
I ain't sure. I know that's where Honda used to be. Across from where the old Johns used to be. For some who may know, that's where the old Charms used to be. If you don't know where Charms is, good for you. It's right there next to Donald's Furniture. Ray, what time you start on Sunday? I think Devon starts at 10:30. Oh, does he have 2 services? All right, sure. You can let us know. Check the Facebook status for those who on radio, and for those who on Facebook, you can put what time the church starts on tomorrow. Or you can join us at Life Worship Center. We begin at 8 and 11. So if he starts at 10:30, come that's a late. Plus 8, and then go down to the Ambassador for 10:30.
You say it named on the Plaza.
See, there you go. It is on the Plaza, right downstairs from the National Dance School. So anyway, so y'all can make sure you find yourself in church. Just keep it locked to Glory 93.9 FM, which is indeed your favorite gospel station. Until next week.
He said 10 a.m.
Yep, across from the old Charms.
So you could probably catch prayer, praise and worship, and post praise and worship at Life. Not much more than that. If you were planning to come to Life,
if you come to 8 o'clock,
KDC, if you come to 8 o'clock, prayer, praise and worship, and post praise and worship. Life as if I'm lying. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I don't like to say that.
Okay then.
Okay. So we stay tuned. I think our shows are coming back on next week across from the Old Maidens. He said this. Yeah. Old Maidens. Nobody's Old Maidens do that. That's Charms. And for Franklin, that's the old Christian club. For Franklin, that's where you see Franklin a lot back in the day.
What's that? Maidens?
We had a Christian nightclub. Maidens. Oh, you won't know that. You know Maidens old too. That's an old Bahamian thing. Anyway, we've been in too long. It's 2 hours and 33 minutes.
Long.
Until next week, y'all be safe. I think Girl Talk was off this week, but I'm sure it's gonna be back next week. And all other shows should be back. They were there, Marisha was a little under the weather. as they say down there in the South.
I can find out where that came from.
I don't know where it came from, but they'll be back this week.
I found out where Bless You came from.
For real.
They used to believe that if you sneezed, a ghost had passed by you or a spirit had passed by you. So they said, bless you.
Oh,
And
that's not what I heard.
What did you hear?
I thought that when you sneeze, like your heart stops. Also, when you come back out of the sneeze, we bless you. I mean that God kept you alive.
Oh, no.
That's something very different. A ghost past you. Rebuke that right here.
Devin say y'all are good cleaning the house entertainment. I want to and choose to take that as a compliment.
Domestic engineering. Domestic engineering.
Where was our resident?
Yeah,
Judah
May was the other day. But anyway, so a ghost past you and you sneeze and say,
or a spirit past you.
Rebuke that spirit in Jesus' name. No, bless you. Rebuke.
That's
you don't bless. No, you rebuke that.
I'm gonna find that right now. Y'all go do your own research. Don't wait for me.
Trying to say my own song, but right. trying to agree with me that my own song right. Of Julian Ublan. I see y'all trying to have a conversation with you like we ain't leave, like we ain't finishing. We leave y'all like we leave y'all every week. Get you a chat, Devin. If you think we were good entertainment for cleaning the house, what I'm about to play next is amazing entertainment for cleaning the house. So I want you to keep it where you got it, Devin.
One of the symptoms of the plague was coughing and sneezing.
The plague.
And it is believed that Pope Gregory I suggested saying God bless you after a person sneezes in hopes that this prayer would protect them from an otherwise certain death. The expression may have also originated from superstition. Well, I told you, say heart stop. This is a spiritual thing. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Still planning the DGMT.
You always learn something new.
Holiday potluck. Julie, you volunteered yourself. Essentially, by making that comment, you volunteered yourself. So everyone slide in Julie's DMs.
Deja salad.
Let her know what you bring into the potluck. She'll let us know with the location, the time, and we will get this party started.
A socially distanced party where we will not eat with our mask off, Miss Mary. FYI. We will keep our mask on. Good afternoon, everybody. Y'all be safe. I'll leave you all every week with this classic.
Ambassador Devin, this is the piece you need for the cleaning.
Yeah, that's right here. This is how you clean.
What you need. This is what you need for the cleaning.
This is how you clean. Y'all be safe, man. I am Delton.
I am Vera.
Weary and see
someone called me Vera. I think they think that's my actual name.
Vera?
Yeah, someone typed Vera.
Oh, because they thought we being Bahamian. Because with Bahamian, if your name is W, we say V.
Yeah,
so they might have thought
I got that. Someone calls me Vera, and I just started to call myself that.
You know, like love is LW we.
Love.
LW we. Anyway, why are we still here? Y'all be safe, man. It's time to get holy. We going.
Hey y'all, this right here is the Bible Slide featuring the Freedom Band. And this time, we're about to get holy, 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 holy. Holy, holy, holy. Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. All right, we about to have some spiritual milk. To the left. Take a step of faith. Pray once this time. On the devil, let's stomp. On temptation, let's stomp. Bible slide real smooth. Now praise and shout. Woo! To the right. Take a step of faith. Jump out the boat. Right foot, let's go. Left foot, let's go. Bible slide now, y'all. Now it's time to get holy. Get right now. To the left. Take it to the grave. And see it resurrect. Come alive this time. Right fist, 2 pumps. Left fist, 2 pumps. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Backslide. No! Backslide. No! It's just a move. Let's win the lost. Go left. Take a scheme to back now, y'all. 2 souls this time. 2 souls this time. Right fist, 2 pumps. Left fist, 2 pumps. Pray on your knees. Pray on your knees. Get holy with it. Oh, yeah. Come on. Bible slide now, y'all. Temptations, turn them down. The harvest is ready. Take them back now, y'all. 5 souls this time. On principalities, let's stomp. On the bondage, let's stomp. They're not your friends. The devil's not your friend. On the devil, let's stomp. On temptation, let's stomp. Behave! Everybody raise your hands. Come on, y'all. Pray it out. How low can you go? Can you go down low? Drop your knees to the floor. How low can you go? He can bring it to the top. He can raise your face up. He can bring it to the top. 1 hop. Right foot now. Walk it out now, y'all. Bible slide real smooth. Turn the devil down. To the right. Take his kingdom back now, y'all. Don't fall this time. Don't fall this time. Win, win. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Shake off the dust, arise. Shake off the dust, arise. Win, win. Win, win. He's your friend. He's coming back again. Don't be fooled now, y'all. He's coming back again. To the left. Take his kingdom back now, y'all. The lost,